be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures, little change to kick off holiday shortened week this week. Everyone enjoying the long July 4th holiday weekend. We're coming back to a pretty flat market as mentioned, but coming off a string of record highs once again to end last week. We saw the S&P 500 extend its current 7-day winning streak heading into the weekend back on Friday, with positive economic data leading the sentiment higher once again, including that jobs report out on Friday, blowing things out of the water better than expected, adding to the positivity. The NASDAQ also reaching a fresh record high to end off last week. Even with a positive number, though, some analysts a little bit cautious heading into the second half, pointing to the big run the market has had in the first half. The S&P up 16%. Over the first part of the year, and the possibility that the reopening positivity in the markets could be coming to an end. Coming up this week, we'll get the latest Fed meeting minutes on Wednesday, sometimes a key indication of possible changes in voting stance ahead. So we'll talk about that coming up on Wednesday. As far as individual movers this morning, we'll have a look at Virgin Galactic back on watch, trading in the pre-market actively once again. Whole bunch of Chinese companies moving around in the pre-market off of that DD news. We'll discuss all of them, including WB moving sharply higher on a possible take-private deal. And DD, of course, the big one with the headline coming out over the weekend, in fact, out of China. We'll discuss DIDI coming up. It's Tuesday, July 6, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at how things stand at this point. As I mentioned, pretty quiet start right now. NASDAQ in positive territory ever so slightly. Everything else basically to the downside. You can see Brazil open trading lower, down 0.3 right now. Crude 6-year high, 0.8% to the upside again today. We'll talk about some energy shares coming up here. Bitcoin and Ethereum back to the upside. Once again, it's 4.5% for Ethereum when Bitcoin's not really doing a heck of a lot. Good morning, guys. It's Tuesday, back from the long weekend. Good to be back at it. Once again, lots to discuss, lots to talk about this morning. All things China in focus, coming off that DD headline. We'll talk about DD, of course, but this Weibo also popping up here. Big time move this morning, 30% right now. And that's almost $11 off the high. So big mover here to start, WB.
I was actually about to say it just started coming off there. I just slipped a bit in front of 65 there. I saw in the chat, and the long weekend finally over, says Mookie Wilson in the chat, and that is a fantastic name there, Mookie. I hope that is in reference to the former Jay and former Met, because I'm a big baseball fan. Long weekend is over, and there's a ton to be looking at today, guys. There's big time movers, and a couple of the meme stocks just popped through highs of the day. DD getting crushed, but they're not alone. YMM also under pressure as well. So I think there's a lot of angry shareholders, or probably some not too happy campers with what went down with DD. Did they know this was possibly coming? It's hard to imagine there wasn't some communication, and they went ahead with the IPO anyways, and you're going to see them under pressure now. $12, just bouncing off of $12 in the pre-market. That's a long ways away from where they opened up, and actually was looking pretty good on day two, at least a couple of times there. So we are going to be trading some DD today. I'm going to be looking at that WB. Actually just popped a bit in there. Ooh, didn't get, oh yeah, that's a bad wick. So it would never print down to 66, but on the daily chart, that one's 65. So could be a lot of active movers in the Chinese stocks. So we're going to be heavily traded there, because don't forget, you had all those delivery numbers coming from NEO, XPeng, and Li Auto as well, all trading slightly down as well this morning.
All right, guys, let's go. Let's start this day off right. MRIN already 50 cents in the money, already took some out. So we had the 27.60, 27.50 break, took it out right there, 28.15. So we took out half of that one. And then, yeah, your boy is trading DD. You're right about that one. Short right now again. So we're short DD, long MRIN, DD 20 cents in the money. And then, look, I mean, hopefully you guys are able to grab the watch list from watchlist.tradertv.live. We also have posted up right now this sticky note, which already gave you 2 for 2. DD short, MRIN long through 27.65, right? There's 27.65. We already have that trade on. As you can see here with MRIN, it just fell right back in. take out half for 50 cents. Now we'll wait to see where MRIN goes. But yeah, big day. Welcome everybody once again. Thank you for all the love on the YouTube shorts and on the Twitter feed as well. It was a big weekend. We were able to go golfing. We got some Mob Deep in last night. And just thank you for everything, guys. We're here on Tuesday, July the 6th, Brendan. It's going to be a big day.
Yeah, going to be a big day. That MRIN, Marin, BLIN, another big mover here in the pre-market. That whole squeeze stocks, meme stock group continues to grow. We'll talk about those coming up here as well. Before we do, though, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, guys. We missed you a lot and so happy to be back. I wish you a wonderful, profitable day. Please make sure to like this video right now and let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We'll kick things off with a little discussion here in regards to how the sentiment has seemingly changed when it comes to what is in focus. And I'm speaking of some of these squeeze stocks. I mean, there's still that Marin software going crazy. There's B squared apparently has been added to this group. Also, BLIN, another big mover here in the pre-market. So never a dull moment if you're looking for big movers.
Yeah, I mean, the names have changed. We just saw that AMC is not going through with asking investors to issue more shares, and I don't know, was trading up like 3 or 4%, but that's not the big mover. B squared is one of the other names here. It's up like 32%. Oddly enough, it's the one that seems to be doing the least so far, despite the gap up. And I think you're gonna want to make sure. I'm gonna pop a 1 minute chart here because I was still in those 3 minutes. From earlier on in the session. When you get these things barcoding like this and consolidating, try to make sure you go to that higher time frame, get a bit of look to see where they come, because a few have already come off of highs like a B squared and they're trying to get back to the upside, whereas others, your MRINs, your MRIN in particular, still making that push to fresh highs, and then you come over to BLIN because once again, pushing through to this 14 level. Of course, my chart's gonna be frozen. So BLIN, the other one that just made a push through that high of the day. I'll be watching B squared as so far the relatively weak one. If it pops through $5, I have an order to go short through that, and it could always take out that top. But note the relative strength and weakness. And it's not to say AMC isn't moving anymore. It's just when you get 2-3% as opposed to 30, 50. I don't know what the other one is. I think you're both at like 30 to 50% there. Obviously, that's a little bit more activity for us to be actionably trading. And then we can't sleep on this WB because they're supposed to be going private for 90 to 100, trading at 70, but that's probably because it's a Chinese name, so there's some risk in it.
Yeah, B square. Yeah, B square. Yeah, easy. Yeah, good. Yeah, BSQR. I didn't even look at this yet. It's a good short here. Oh, is it the Amex one? No, it's the NASDAQ one. There's that good level there. What Neil just talked about looks real good, man. That 520 level. So right here, 508, 510, 520.
What just happened on WB?
Yeah, WB, okay. 510, 501, 508 there, a good little name there on B square. So, so AMC, we talked a little bit about that one. We'll look at WB in a minute, I think. There's AMC. I like this 5450. We talked about that in one of our latest videos about, the offering of more shares and whatnot. But yeah, so Neil, you want to take WB then?
I have something. Did we just get news on WB there, Brennan? Because they just absolutely flushed like a $7 move in, like right away in the downside. I was sitting in front of 65. I'll show you on the daily chart what that level was. It was just that previous high, and then immediately got taken out. Thank goodness I was able to get out pretty quickly, because if I don't know what's going on, it popped down into 61 bucks. $10 move to the downside. They just said it was to be like maybe between like $90 to $100 that they were going to be taken private here, and it feels like they're selling it off pretty hard. So there might be an update that has come through. If there's not, I mean, this thing started at $55, closed at 54 on Friday. I mean, if it gets below that, that seems a little bit ridiculous. Brendo?
Looks like this is not true. So they are saying now that all of this is completely false. So disregard WB whatsoever. I mean, this is a Chinese stock, right? Chinese company. So all of these types of headlines can be, overblown, I guess is the best way to put it. But I can show you Reuters actually reported this. This is the initial headline here. I mean, it started very early on with a number of reports suggesting that 20 billion could be the number. The chairman himself saying that they are in talks with investors to go private at $20 billion. But a couple of reports now floating around on the internet, guys, saying that this whole thing is not true. So WB, not so much, apparently.
Maybe they'll do the same thing here for DD. I mean, look, that's why, honestly, guys, like, This is why I'm short DD. It's why I'm not adding into the Alibaba position, things like that. I really right now, I don't trust what's happening with a lot of these Chinese names. And I mean, let's be perfectly honest. Look, but that's no surprise. I mean, our own company here, Tesla, if you all remember when Elon Musk said going private 420, right? That spiked the stock, and then obviously that was not true, and it came right back down. So, I mean, yeah, some of these CEOs got to be a little bit, brought back into life here, I think, a little bit with what they're allowed to say and not to say. But who knows about that? And I don't trust, honestly, guys, I just don't trust any of that kind of stuff. Someone asked me there on the chat, what do I think of Alibaba long-term? I love Alibaba long-term. I think it's one of the best long-term plays you could put on right now. But like I said, you still have a lot of that rhetoric coming from the government. We don't know. They could shut down. I mean, they shut down DD, right? I mean, they basically took the app out of the App Store, right? So, I mean, it's just one of those things where who knows what could happen. But as far as Alibaba is concerned, so just because you guys asked on the chat, I love Alibaba, but yeah, we may break that 200 at some point if this continues. So let's just be very, very careful with some of our trades here and some of these Chinese names, and including, honestly, guys, including NEO. It's not on our list today, I don't believe. Is it? No, it's not. But I did like NEO. So this is what happened to NEO. Forget about the daily chart. The last, you know what? That's so strange. Like, I don't know where all my quotes are for NEO. Yeah, anyways, it's going to be weird. I have to figure that out. Maybe exclude holidays. Every single day, there's been a big drop. We had a big drop in the morning there on Friday from 55 all the way down to 50. So I'm actually looking for a short on NEO right now through 48.50, the bottom from Friday. We'll see if we can take that out. There's going to be a lot of names on our watch today.
Yeah,
oh my God, so guys, just quickly there, I quickly reversed. Second said Brendan said not true. I quickly reversed WB, but there was an iceberg at 60, so I got 63/4 a couple of times, and then was scalping in front of 60 because there was an iceberg. But if this isn't true, I mean, it's a $55 stock on Friday. I can't see a heck of a lot of reason why it might not retest it. If it does pop up, I'm probably short it to that 65, that daily chart level. But I mean, that seems a little bit crazy to me. I'm going to stay on the south side of this WB trade, at least until it proves me wrong. And wow, okay, 3 positions already because Amarin just dipped into support. I know someone corrected me on the pronunciation of that one. So it's an active morning to start it already, but I feel like this WB, I'm trying to think of reasons why it can't trade down to 55.
Okay, let's. We might as well talk about DD here, guys. DIDI. The big story over the weekend: Chinese regulators ordering their app to be removed from app stores in that country on privacy concerns and some question marks remaining. Again, I mean, we can have a look at the daily chart here. 1, 2, 3 days after their IPO here in New York. It's not NASDAQ, that's why. The daily chart is working though. Yeah, we're down here this morning. $12 for DIDI. Being that it's only day 3 or 4 for this stock, where could this trade today?
Anywhere?
Yeah, it could trade 0. I mean, it could just keep on going down, 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 guys, to be honest with you. I mean, here's the 20-minute chart. And I say 0 because I'm short, but that doesn't really matter. We've already taken we haven't taken any out of that one yet. Okay, so here it comes. Big opening day. All the way back down to 14. We thought it was pretty cool. We actually had a 14 bottom print. Then we had a 15 bottom print on this day to the upside. And now we just switched our grills up and are going to go short on this one now, down to 12.50. We'll see. I say we're going to go short until it breaks this 13.25. I mean, to me, that makes the most sense here. So we'll wait to see how far it goes down from here. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You asked the question, how far can it go? I mean, honestly, there really is no answer to that until we see where the imbalance comes out, what happens with that. Let's go over that right now. It is a big sell imbalance. It's 2 million shares to sell side. So, you know, you're going to have continued pressure on this name. We're only 15 cents in the money. I do want to get shorter and shorter into this name. So that's something that I'm waiting for. But for right now, DD, I think you just trade the price action, and I think I just keep shorting it until this 13.25 breaks. So I'm layered all the way to the offer here. I don't see why this should go up unless, again, something leaks where maybe the app is allowed back on the store, something like that. That's where you can't hold this forever. You have to sort of get out. We'll scalp this out. I want to see it open up, but look, I mean, you've already saw what happened there with WB. The same thing could happen again right now with DD, you know, but in the other way. All of a sudden, the Chinese regulators come out and say, hey, you know what? This isn't as bad as we thought it was. No more cyber security threats. The app is back and running. Go ahead and take your ride share, you know, bang, then you go right back to the upside. And I think we get $15, $16. So we're going to hold this one a little tight to the chest here, but we already have our stop orders ready to go if we break 13.25. So hopefully we'll be able to average in all the way up. And then if it breaks, then it breaks. And I assume there's some good news coming. So we may go long on that one, but I'm going to be short in this one until I get stopped out.
I was surprised. Easy to borrow as well for that one today. Also, yeah.
That's not.
We might as well have a look, guys, at some of the bigger ones as well, because, you know, as you said, Sean, Alibaba to the downside. There's Baidu as well under pressure here. We've been talking over the past couple of weeks about these increased, I guess, chatter, the increase in chatter as far as regulatory changes and tightening of scrutiny over in China. So all of these stocks worth watching today.
I think you can't avoid them today. That's just the reality. Obviously, DD is going to be the one that we're more concerned about because it has so much air between that high and that 14 level. So it's concerning. The reality is, you come in and see a selling opportunity like, or see a sell like this on maybe not BABA so much because it's only 1%, but DD. You can see it's a solid company, over 80% of the market share, ride sharing. BABA, we've talked over and over again about relative to Amazon, how good a value that technically should be and the growth potential in that market. But the truth of the matter is, does anyone want to be invested in these stocks in the short term when the market's at all-time highs? There's a million other names that you could be into which are performing so much better, and that's what's going to cause that pressure. Now, Alibaba, at least in particular, Alibaba here has this little cluster. I'm only showing you the 15 minutes, so you can see 210 to 215. It's got some support down here, I want to say, but you know, if DD starts cratering, or maybe you get, because it was a couple of other companies that also got this problem, and if again it gets deeper when people think that it's going to be the end, then maybe it isn't that great buying opportunity. So I'm done trying to figure out exactly when Alibaba is going to turn or when you're going to get some momentum into it. I bought one time in this stock, and I probably won't again until it actually breaks out. Sometimes it's just better to let it go than try to guess where the bottom is going to be. On DD today, I have zero clue where the bottom. Like if it breaks this 12 even, maybe we're actually talking about $10. That seems believable to me. The only thing that I think has a bottom, that WB was trading at 54. That's why I think that's where it would go down to and find support.
So I think the best name that always gets a lot of love here is going to be JD. So JD always gets the love. I'm not in this name, but this is probably, oh, come on, charting again. This is probably one of the, yo, what's up, Kevin O'Leary? JD is one of the names that gets a lot of love, you know, quite often. So yeah, this is a name that you could probably go into relatively safely. Again, though, I can't sit here and recommend any of these things just because of what's happening right now. And look, I thought Joe Biden would come in and sort of help with some of these Chinese stocks. That's why I liked Alibaba. Hopefully it was come up with some sort of a trade plan. I know there wasn't really one before. So now with past presidents, but you know, right now, I like JD. It's one of the only names that are above the 50-period moving average here on the Chinese side of things. So I think I like JD with a bottom of 67, 68. That's not a horrible look right now. So yeah, look, I still love Alibaba. Alibaba is one of my big ones in my account from a Chinese side. It's like the only Chinese name I own, actually. So it's not a big one in my portfolio, but it's about halfway. It's like number 15 out of like 25 or so on my list. We just did average in here again to Marin Software. We took a nice little 27 bid there, but now it looks like it's going to be breaking even lower. So watch out for 26 break on Marin, guys.
All right, let's get some analyst moves for today. Upgrades and downgrades once again this morning. AXP, top of the list today. American Express, we haven't talked about that for quite some time. Goldman Sachs raising their price target on AXP today. We'll talk about AXP coming up. Nokia's here. Eli Lilly, 3M to the downside. I noted that one was a little bit active in the pre-market. And yeah, Space on here as well. Yes, it's trading higher, but what a move that thing had on Friday to the downside after that gap higher. So we'll talk about Space and Walgreens back to the downside as well.
Interesting one that you noted that 3M there, Brendan. It's an interesting one because usually you think pretty stable company. You look at this chart trying to get back to that $200 range, and you get 50 period and 200 even. Catch a downgrade, maybe takes down into this lower range here where it's been pretty good, like a 185, 190. I only say this because there's always that chatter. Market correction, this, and techs are in trouble, that. Of course, we're going to get the Fed minutes coming through, and if the taper talk is a little more aggressive than people expect, there was a surprise, not a surprise, but certainly the difference between the talk the chatter and then what happened in the notes in April caused a little bit of a move, and you could see that same thing again here. And I wouldn't wonder if you do find some value in some of these names that pull back. So 3M kind of stands out, at least in that regard. You know, we're going to talk about Virgin Galactic, of course, when we get into the watch list, because that's been an unbelievable mover. Don't forget that test. Going to be an interesting event when that test comes through. I think on the 11th, of course. It's like Sunday. So, yeah, the space race is on. I'll be trading Virgin Galactic today, but just want to talk about the DD for a quick second. I'm going to cover some. The low of the day isn't 12 even. I think we just said 12. Well, I just said if 12 were to break, it could go down to like $10. Who knows? But I would be covering some in front of this 12 even area. The first short for me is in front of these higher lows that have put in, specifically the 65. And I think the second shot is off that high of the day. If it ever broke the pre-market high, it's 14 would be the price I'd be looking at next. So down in this price range, you're shorting near the low of the day. I still think it can fall, just like I think WB, which I'm flat in right now, short here at 60.70. So same sort of thing, but I can't really find too many of the Chinese names that I like for the day trade long, but that can change in a heartbeat, that's for sure.
All right, so here we go. So how could you not trade 3M when all these post-it notes? Shout out to you, Phil. Thank you so much for sending about 5,000 sticky notes, honestly. That was fantastic. Yeah, 3M, look, I mean, I like AXP. I think you got to buy AXP on any dip. I mean, we're already hot dog city on DD there, but AXP, whoopsies, American Express with another upgrade today. This name just keeps on going, and I love this name. I'm not in it, but this has just been a fantastic ride to the upside here. I don't need to tell you that. Anybody that's watching anything financial nowadays should be probably in XP or MasterCard or something, Visa, any of them. I mean, I chose FinTech, which seems to be a mistake. You guys all see PaySafe and those kind of stocks not doing anything right now, but I should have chose, obviously, one of the standards, gold standard here in American Express. So that just keeps on going. Only 83,000 shares done today, but this is a definite buy on any dip, right? You get down to 165, 170, something like that on AXP, and you just buy that thing hand over fist. So AXP, just another home run for anybody looking for a long-term value plus growth plus everything. I love it, American Express.
Let's talk about Coinbase here, guys. There was that headline this morning regarding Fed Chair Powell meeting with Coin's CEO back in May, near the beginning of May. I mean, not terribly active here, obviously, in the pre-market, up 1.3%. Few people talking about this one already, though. We are starting to base out here, it looks like, starting to hold higher, at least when it comes to the daily chart. Some important levels need to hold, though, for Coin. Does the whole Fed angle really add positivity to Coin? Yeah, I mean, I like Coinbase. I mean, I just think that people right now are waiting on Coinbase to, make a big move up, and then they could start to buy it. I think a lot of people don't really want to buy these names, especially when there is some uncertainty, with the Fed. So these kind of meetings are good, to try to figure out the stability of the company. And I mean, look, they are what they are. They're a fintech company. They're crypto. They're cold storage. There's going to be a lot of business opportunities for these guys, including staking, lending. I even think that you're going to be able to stake your coin and then lend it to them for some sort of an interest. You could get some sort of a cashback type of situation. I mean, they're not going to get into the credit card business or anything like that, but I like Coinbase here. Let's see, the 50 period just started, and it's right here at 250, 260. Not that matters so much. It's so brand new, but I believe you're right, Brendan. There's a lot of levels forming. My last buy was right here, 231. So hopefully we don't see that again, but we may. Watch out. I mean, this is another thing. Okay, this is Cardano, 142. So yeah, that's a hot dog type of thing for Cardano. But what I was trying to do for all you guys was also a big move back. If you just call a daily chart up here for Ether, so this is Ethereum, of course, you're going to see here, a couple tests of this level here, 1,500 to 2,000, very, very well held. So, I mean, if I was looking at a stock here, I'd say, like, you've definitely made a bottom, it seems like, anyways. I mean, with crypto, we know anything can happen. It's very headline sensitive, but I could see this go back to 3,000, 3,500, to be honest with you. And if that does happen, then obviously we'll be, very, very happy and making a lot of coin. But at the same time, I think that will give Coinbase a little bit of a base to, rest on. The fact that a lot of the assets that they have are going to be stable once again. And I think that helps. And that's that. But you do know that they did release, it was Robinhood that released their prospectus for filing. It's not good, man. Like, I think it was like 38 or 39% of their revenues came from Dogecoin, things like that. That stuff, see, that's what scares me, because that is not
capable. That's not withstanding. You can't sustain that because Dogecoin is around now. What about when it disappears, right? I think that Coinbase does have a bigger base of commercial, bigger, just bigger traders involved with Coinbase than a Robinhood. So I like it. If BTC can be stable, and I think that Coinbase goes higher. So I like this name, and I think you're a buyer through 250.
Yeah, I love that 250 level. I think you just got to be a little bit patient with Coinbase because when it consolidated last time at that bottom, it was quite a lengthy one. Then you just wait for that little bit of a breakout, and it might be doing the same thing. You just might actually take like a week or two to get back to that 250 level, barring something crazy happening overall in spot prices there. We had a question. Someone's like, "What are your targets on DD?" And I want to say I did take some out, and it's not an iceberg order, but I saw someone saying there was an iceberg order on DD. At 1235, it's actually like a lit 150,000 bid just sort of sitting here on the NASDAQ book. 160,000, I should say, just shy of that. So I actually took some out in front of it on this little consolidation 37. So if every time it pops, I'll try to short at a better price, maybe not in front of 50, in front of like 60 or 65, and then rinse and repeat that action there. So I didn't see an iceberg down there. I did see a big bid that's holding it for now at 1235. If that breaks, then we test towards the current like 1212 low. I'd take some out in front of that as well.
All right, let's get into what is moving around in the pre-market, guys. If you haven't done so already, head over to that link and register for the absolutely free to you morning note that we send out every morning at 8:30 before we come on at 8:30, I should say. Has everything you need to know before the market gets open today. Let's jump into DD. Once again, we'll dig down here a little bit, try and come up with a trade idea. Yeah, we're kind of grinding back towards the lows right now for DI. If you missed it again, Chinese regulators ordering their app be removed from app stores over in China 3 days after they listed on the NYSE, guys.
Yeah, 3 days after they listed. And that's the thing. Like, I think, I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be like probably suits, and there's going to be some, definitely some unhappy people here. We just talked about a couple of levels, but I think I prefer the approach of like shorting pops here as opposed to breakdowns when it's down 20%. Not just because it's short sell restricted. It is short sell restricted, obviously, but I think that gives you some cover off of some. Well, I mean, levels don't matter too much, but I'm looking at that 1260 level. It's hard to think about this as normally you'd say if you like this company, you buy when everyone else is panicking, but at the end of the day, I feel like you want the dust to settle on DD. If you own shares in Uber, which I do, then you kind of already have a stake there. Not that it's going to be a gigantic one. If it gets above that pre-market high, currently, like I said, there's air to 14. I think that would be the next level because you get this 14, you get that Friday low here at 1460. You'd have some cover in that area to maybe try a little bit of a short if it's that strong. I wouldn't rule it out because anything is possible when a stock goes down this far. It looked so strong on day two on the first there that you think there might be some value buyers in there, or at least potentially. So I want to be prepared in case it breaks that high, what the next plan of action would be, and it would be 14 to 16. For now, I'm short at 48s. I'll be short in front of like 60s the second time through, and if 12 even breaks, I'll probably try to short that breakdown as well. But short sell restricted, no guarantees you get it.
Look, guys, we've already gone through all this. We're short DD until it breaks 13.25, and there's really nothing else to say. Every time it pops up, I'm going to get short, and I'm never covering until $5. Now, I mean, I have no idea where it's going to go, but I don't want to cover at all. So we'll just keep on getting short. Like I said, I'm short this name until I lose on this break. So I will be taking no profit at all on DD. I'm just going to hold the short. I'm going to average into the short, and then I'm going to get out once it breaks 13.25. Until then, I will not cover this name until 4 p.m.
Little one here, guys. OSAT, which is OrbSat, just popping up on a volume scanner. You can see we broke 7 here on a huge volume spike. So heads up. I'm not seeing too much as far as headlines, but some chatter on the internet. OrbSat, OSAT on the move here, 30% at this point. Let's bring in Arun and get a check on the overall market, see what we need to be aware of for the futures today as far as levels are concerned. Good morning, Arun. It is Tuesday. Hope you had a nice long weekend, first of all, but I mean, pretty flat here once again for the overall market.
Pretty flat, and we're into summertime trading, right? Everything slows down now. So how active do you want to be in this market? It all depends on the quality of the setup you're getting. I would refine my entry choices to the ones that that have an extremely high probability of working out. So I'm going to be slowing down my trading. I've got 2 levels marked off that if we can get a break on either side of them, I may jump in after the break, and I want to see how it plays. Is there going to be enough buying? If we break to the top, is there going to be enough buying that I can see that we can actually get a push? Or if we break to the bottom, if we can get enough selling and continue the sell down. But I don't want to step in front of any levels, just because in this market, you can get a kind of, just washed out fairly quickly. So 43.50 is the top end, 43.30 is the bottom end. We're sitting right now at 43.42. It's right in the middle. So it's not a whole lot you can do. I would just wait to see what happens. And I just, checked out the earnings, the potential for earnings movement. And all of it seems geared towards the final week of the month. So all the big weights are coming in at the end. So I don't know how much movement you're going to get between now and then. You do have that, like you mentioned earlier, the minutes coming out later this week. That might provide some volatility on Wednesday. But apart from that, I would be careful. Protect your capital as much as you can, and be smart. Be smart about your trades. If you need to slow down, and don't try to rush into everything, because in the summertime, things get much more difficult because things get much more slower. That means if you're in a position that doesn't work out, it might take forever for you to actually be able to get yourself out of that position. So just be smart about your entries. That's all I can do. Provide 2 levels. If we get a break on either side, take that trade. Otherwise, just be smart about what you're trading and how often you're trading.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. Sean, you had more on DD.
Yeah, no, I'm just reading the chat here. First of all, Roblox with some nice news. They're going to team up with Sony Music here and get the Sony Music popping. So I got to get ready for my kids to be blasting off some Sony Music, whoever part of them, Rihanna, I think maybe. Okay, look, what I was saying about DD is that, people are saying that that's, normally I have, outs and things like that. But look what's happening to it right now. It's getting crushed, right? I'm 40 cents in the money. And the thing is, this is not an emotional trade. It's actually the opposite of that. Like, if you're emotional trading this thing, then I'm like going to be getting out every time it starts to move back and forth because I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, I have a plan, and that is that this company, until it shows, right, some sort of light at the end of the tunnel right now, I'm willing to lose on the short. And that's it, right? So, I mean, I think it's the complete opposite. Sure, normally I'm disciplined, I'm very strategic, and thank you guys for acknowledging that, first of all. But the second part is that sometimes, and it's not a YOLO trade, it's nothing like that. It's just this one, I wish I had more shares. I wish I was short all the way. I wish I was everything short. Every print before this one, your short would have been right. So, I'm going to hold this until I can't hold it no more. And that no more is going to be this one, 13.20. So that's why I said that basically I'm going to be holding this thing forever. Like, if this starts tanking and then all of a sudden it gets to like $10 and there's 5 million shares on the bid or something crazy where I know I can get in and out and, I'm fine with it, then I'm going to do that. But I just feel like if I get out here at 12.20 and then the thing goes to 12, then I've missed that 20 cents, right? And that's the only reason why. I really think this is going to fall, and it already is falling. So far, so good. I don't want to cover any of this thing. If it does bounce up, that's going to be my opportunity to get more short. So I know this is like the DD show right now. It's 9:03. I think we've talked about it, 48 times. But the point is, this is a name that's moving. It's done 14 million shares. I think it's the best of the best today. So it's my number one opportunity, and I'm going to try to hold it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That can happen. That's fine. And we will do that. But for right now, 13.20 is where, look, I mean, I just started this rant and it was at what, 12.25? Now you're at 12.17. So let's just see this thing continue to fall down. I hope I'm right, but if I'm wrong, then I lose at 13.25. End of story.
Great story. Much agreed. Let's talk about Wish here very quickly, guys. Just popping up on volume as well through $12 there. Big pop through 5%. So they were just announced anyways. They were granted a payment institution license for the EU. So watch out for stuff to buy on Wish, I guess, if you're over in the EU now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a move here. I mean, 5% doesn't seem like a lot when you're getting stocks that are a little bit more mobile than that this morning, talking about your Marins. And Blinn we'll get to in a little bit here. Wish only at the pre-market highs as we speak, and let's try to keep in mind the pullback that it's bouncing on the 50 period here. That's nice, but the pullback was off of this failure at like 15. And of course, it was one of those squeeze names, and has been on the road to the downside since. The only good thing I will say, well, I guess shouldn't be the only good thing I'll say. The good thing I will say is because you are finding this little bounce off that at the 50 period here, maybe there's a little bit of a squeeze play back towards that 15 that could come in. Has to break out that potential high of the day here at 1235. Because the short interest, it's always going to be in play for that kind of move. You can't just count it, whatever I guess you guys know how I feel about context logic, but at the end of the day, price movement is price movement and price action cannot be ignored. I would just caution going back into Friday, you do have a 1240 high here. So, I mean, even if it takes out 35, you have Friday's high as well. So that 40 might be a little bit better than the 35 just to make sure it's actually gone. And I will only play it on the breakout. I think if it comes all the way back into the bid, I wouldn't be too excited to buy it down there.
Okay, so we just went long Wish. So we just took Wish out on that top 1230. So here we go, guys. So we're into Wish, we're into DD, we're into MRIN. So let's wait to see where Wish goes. I mean, look, this is just one of those things, like Neil said, high short interest. We'll see if this has some decent news here. 2.27% takes out that 1230. So we went long right there, 1232 on that long. But again, oh yeah, we were trading this. Yeah, look, short. This is what I normally do to Wish. Short, and cover. Those are great shorts. And then this is like what we did. Look what we did to Wish. Remember you guys like, oh, maybe I wasn't going to hold this to 4 o'clock. Look what I did. This was my thought about Wish on Friday. I held it to 4 o'clock. 350 was Thursday. Yeah, Friday. 351. I forget what day did we have off yesterday, Monday. 351 there on Wish, guys. So we got into Wish at 9:38. We even got in earlier, 9:05, and we held our last piece because we didn't believe in it down to 1166. So we covered 1166 at 351. So trying to be a man of my word here and try to hold something a little bit longer. But for this one, I don't know, man. We're just going to see if we can't play the momentum. So this is not a big position. If it starts to go, more, then we'll have a look at it. 12, 14. I mean, I don't think we get up to 15 today. So on the daily chart, there's really nothing here for context logic. What is this? Yeah, that's that level that Neil was talking about, 1250, 1240. That's a good level for sure. And then I like this level. Is that 13? Yeah, $12.90, $13. So let's get through a lot of this and then break out upside. So if you can break 13, then I think we dance around 14, believe it or not. So 13 to 14, I think could happen today. So we'll see if that does happen. But obviously, first stop, I need to get this one into a winning trade right now with Wish. So hopefully we'll see where that goes. We did take a nice average in on Marin. If that ever changes, so there we go. We just bought the bottom there right ahead of VWAP, hopefully the bottom, 26.56 we just bought. So that's a nice little win to the upside as well as we just start averaging in. Oh yeah, remember my DD rant, guys? Look where we're at right now, 1207 and still heading to the south side. So yeah, crying baby no more. We'll hold on to these shares and see how far we can go with this one as DD, hopefully going to the grave.
Let's talk about it. I mean, Wish on the list this morning, guys, so we can have a look at that. Or there's a lot of these other squeeze stocks moving around here in the pre-market. We mentioned that MRIN. There's BLIN. I noticed ALFI, ALFI is active again here in the pre-market. Workhorse. Lots to keep in mind. Lots to have a plan for heading towards the open here.
I want to mention BLIN because I think we've at least talked about or covered all the other ones here. But BLIN also took out the high there. I quickly went to the daily chart just so you guys could see the one time. But you're in uncharted territories here for BLIN. It's up that 50%, so of course making a run. But this is $14 even at the current high. It did make a little bit of reversal. MRIN also made a reversal at its high of the day, but not at a round
cash
number like 14, guys. So watch out for that 14 level on BLIN. It would be a candidate for that 930 like rollover style trade. So I would let it make an actual breakthrough of that price before you took it. 01s, I don't let probably look at like a 6 or a 10, and then have a relatively tight stop on it. Just because if it comes down to like 1150, that's going to be an awesome buying opportunity. I think maybe for the downside there. And the way MRIN's behaved, I kind of anticipate you could see a similar pullback on BLIN. But that round number everyone's going to be looking at. Remember what we said about that 12 even on DD. Short sell restricted applies to the pre-market too. So it's a gigantic bid, but it doesn't mean that you can still hit it as it goes through. That's why you had to fade into a short.
All right, guys, spin it already. This is the kind of day we're already starting it off right now today. We're 3 for 3 with the bangers today so far. Marin. Bang to the upside. Look at that bid and out right there. Like it's 30 cents right there on my average price. So that's a good trade there. We'll take 30 cents all day on this, and now we'll hold. I mean, we've taken 30 cents there, 30 cents there. So we're already up, and you can see it right there on the screen how much. I hate this. We're going to change this, by the way, guys. Can we speed that up at the bottom at some point, or does that take afterwards? All this takes way too long on the bottom there. We'll talk about that afterwards anyways. Don't worry about it now. Okay, so Marin, nice little win there. Wish, now 4 cents in the money. Wow. I still want to take this out if we go through 50, and then we'll see about that 14 and so on and so forth. So that's going to be a big trade, hopefully. And then there goes DD, man. Still 60 cents now in the money. Remember what we said about DD, guys. We're going to go with the bang on this one. We called this trade so sweet. It happens only one time. One time in, and look at how far this thing just continues to go down. This is why, man, emotional trader I am, everything I am. You have to switch up your game, guys. Sometimes you have to make these kind of calls, and there it is. Normally, I would take this out now for 60 cents on 12 bucks, guys. So we'll take that 5%. Like, here's a 5% gain right here, and you saw me take this here for you guys. So hopefully, well, actually, no, that was at 8.13. But, you know, we tweeted that out, and I hope you guys are able to get short. Let's see where DD goes from now, but we are loving it right now. What a big day. Welcome back, Brendan.
There is a, you see that bid there, Sean? There's 1 million shares on the bid there at 12 for DD. So heads up on the NYB. Let's move down to Virgin Galactic. Big mover on Friday, if you remember, monster gap, and then just faded all day long. Ended the day right at its lows, 45. So we're trying to hold 45. Is there a trade here today?
The level I like on Virgin Galactic, we talked about this last week, was going to be that $43 level. Oh, come on, 15-minute chart. Don't do that to me. You can, oh, there we go. You can see a couple of days, 30th and 1st, both holding that double bottom. Then you got the gap up because, yeah, scheduled the flight that everyone knew was coming, and then faded off. I mean, that's, I don't know, it's pretty textbook there. But you're going to get a 43 level. If it holds a higher low in front of like 44, 45, fantastic for them here. The break, the break's going to be about like a 46.50 to a 47, but I'm looking down towards that 43 already. That's the one that I was, like, when we left on the 1st, I was actually saying to myself, I'm looking for a breakdown at 43. I think if it takes that level, it's sort of an obvious like flush short. And then of course it gapped up the next day and it faded into it. So I'm going to like 43 if it gets there. We're a couple of dollars away from it. So you might not catch that break today. Maybe there's a chance to bounce off at first. Either way, you've got to be playing some Virgin Galactic if the volume does come in. It's just too big of a level to ignore because if you look at what happened, I mean, we got to that 60 top again and faded. I mean, if it breaks that 43, the next cluster is like 39 to 42 that we talked about earlier. So the risk to reward is certainly going to be fantastic on a 43 break. We just have to get there first.
Okay, so Virgin Galactic, I'm thinking 46.50 to the upside here on a break. So I think that this is a level there. It's 46.50 is upside right here. I just think that, you know, you can go back to Friday's. Yeah, it is Friday. This level right here where we dumped off from. So I think that's 46.80 actually. Maybe I need to make that a little bit lower. We absolutely, oh, there it is. I was going to say we absolutely destroyed space. This was the trade of the day. So hopefully I can make another one here today on this one, although I think the DD one might be already in the books now. 54 down to the downside here. We could have held on for a hell of a lot longer. We got in some consolidation there and worried about that 50 level. We should not have. This is one that I should have said I'm holding till 4 o'clock on space. But I actually think that there's some chance for this one to go back to the upside. Look, I mean, it's a great story. There's that 46.50 to go here. We'll see. I mean, whether or not it's, we talked about that measuring contest between Bezos and Branson, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think this is a good thing for the environment. We'll see if it can get going, but I like a 46.50 bid on this one, and we'll see if it goes. But I didn't actually realize, I was just looking at this pre-market level of 46.50, but it's kind of this level maybe that I'm more worried about. It's actually 47-ish, so yeah, I don't know. We'll take a 46.50 small, and then we'll hammer it a little bit more at 47.50, and then of course that out that we're talking about right there, 44, can be the out on that one. So we'll see where we go from here. But so far so good on all these spots. I like a 46.50 break, but I like it more at 47 and change.
All right, about 15 minutes to go before the market gets open for the day, guys. NIO, let's talk about the Chinese EV stocks here. So there's a couple of different angles to discuss here. We had back-to-back declines to end last week coming off those delivery numbers for all three, Li Auto, XPEV, and NIO. All of them were either in line or kind of better than expected, so there's that. But then there's this whole other Chinese regulatory issue that we're talking about this morning with all of these. So, I mean, take your pick. They're all in negative territory. It's just a matter of how much and which one you want to kind of focus on here. I just brought up NIO down 2%, but holding 49, it would appear, for the moment.
NEO was yo-yo action off of the 50 level in particular. I mean, obviously it's a round number, but 50 level on Friday, you're going to see, open above $1.50, flush break through, and then hold $1.50 below that price, consolidate, basically close at $50. So that's going to stand out as a bit of a line in the sand for NIO. But then you also go back to 48.50 here. So I'm looking at that low from Friday. There was a spike bottom on the way making that move to 55 here before we got that breakout. So 48.50. I'm going to be taking that to the south side today. It's weird. I mean, the market's slightly up, but it's hard not to. Again, every one of these Chinese names, I might find myself short every single one. But 48.50, if that breaks, I got to have it. We're 60 cents away from it on the open, so there is some cover. I don't like a 50 break to the long side. I think you run into that trouble of there being resistance both in the lower high, 50.75, and then 51.75. Let NEO break out, because when it gets going, like you can find longs in NIO. For now, I just want to see if they're going to be able to sell that news through that 48.50 level. Double bottom, that works for me for momentum short.
Okay, we didn't go over this one yet, but we'll see if we can't walk on a little bit of water. AXLA, we just went short of that one. It's iShark. Sean, what are they measuring? What, Bezos and Branson? Oh, they're just measuring their shoe size or something like that. I'm not really even sure what they're measuring. There's AXLA right now to the downside. We'll figure out. It just breaks there. A small little upgrade on this name. Doesn't, to me, mean 20%, but we'll wait to AXLA. And in order to be wrong on this, I mean, we're not giving it to 750, that's for sure. But here we go, guys. So I have two shorts, two longs. AXLA short, DD short, you know that forever, hopefully forever. MRIN and Wish both to the long side. But here's AXLA, not to get in the way. I know that's on our list. I don't know if we'll have time to even cover it, but there it is right there. And then NEO, look, it's part of my list. So we've already talked about that one here a little bit today when we talked about some Chinese names. I like NEO, but I don't like this action. The last 3 days, tick, 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 and then today, boom, down to the downside. So I do think that we revisit somewhere in here. I still like NEO for a long term. I mean, I love NEO. I love to get into this name. So we'll see what happens right around this 46 level. That might be a spot where I make my first buy. So that's going to be a good level. We'll wait to see if it cracks it, though. And the reason why we chose 48.50, again, sorry, I don't have yet the data. I don't know why that data's gone, but 48.50 was here. You know what? Actually, here, let me call it up on another platform here. I like this 48.50 level right here. There it is right there. So 48.50 right around here from Friday. So there's the low there on Friday, 48.60. Goes back to about, I guess it was last Monday, Tuesday, when we were in this level before we took off. So I like a 48.50 break from right there from Friday's bottom. So 48.50, the downside, your boy will be short.
All right, let's talk energy stocks. A lot of them giving up on pre-market gains. I just brought up a few right now, but Oxy, the first we can talk about here. Oil was at 6-year highs here in the pre-market after OPEC and allies basically said they've postponed talks and haven't even set a date for when they will discuss possible production changes in the future, including the Kremlin and Russia saying that they have nothing to discuss at this point with OPEC either. So a lot of these have come off, though, guys. We're right back to where we were on Friday here for Oxy.
Yeah, I mean, oh goodness, I have an ugly wick on the 15-minute. Thanks a lot there. So Oxy, like on low volume, I want to say it just dropped like $1 in the pre-market, but you were sort of already at that. This is that high that I was mentioning maybe a few weeks ago, and not necessarily all about this March high on Occidental 32.50. Go all the way back into March, and then you had this 34.75 top, and been a lot of consolidation through that high, even as we've been breaking out and making fresh highs in crude over and over again. Long term, if there's an issue with OPEC, long term, that would drive prices to the downside. But I mean, the short term, you might actually still see some pressure to the upside there. So you can't ignore it. But I think every time Oxy pops into this high, or at least tests it, and let's call it like 34 to 34.75, maybe even 35 even, I think there's an opportunity to be shorting it. Until then, I mean, the pre-market volume is pretty low. I don't know if that's going to be the place I want to jump into today, but I'm still watching those levels up there because they've been pretty good for some solid shorts. It might be a 35 breakout at some point. I'm just not necessarily betting that you're going to get that continuation on crude prices. If it happens, fair enough, let 35 go. But until then, I would be shorting in front of that on Occidental. Just hasn't really followed through at any point yet.
I haven't really looked at any oil names. I'm just looking to get Wish back here through 1216 or so back down to VWAP. So we'll see if we can average into this one. It's going to be the only name that we have on board that's a loser right now. AXA, well, you can see them all anyways. I like XOM. We've been talking about this. I haven't traded it much on the show, but look, I think that this is a short opportunity for all of us here. There it is, 65. I think that's pretty high. I mean, we should be up there already. It's a 6-year high for oil. We are starting to fade back out. I just think that you could short this one. I don't know what the premiums are on any kind of options, but if there was one name that I didn't love right now, it's going to be ExxonMobil. So 64.50 to the downside. I just think it's overdone a little bit here. Big run up on a lot of these names. So let's wait to see what happens. It's kind of hovering around. It's thinking about it. Could be a huge break though of 65. So if we get to that on a day trade, then I love the break of 65, get some momentum, get people squeezed out of their shorts if people are thinking like me. But for right now, nice little move there. Oh yeah, let's check back in on DD right now, guys. 11.90. So how about 70 cents right now in the money on DIDI? So as that one, just look at this, one in, guys, as this just keeps on making a move to the downside. So 4 p.m., although I don't want it to come, let's see where we go at that point, and we'll just check in on the imbalance locator quickly, Brendan, as we're going to go back to you. 4 million shares now on the sell side. KOS1, of course, that's KRS1. Hopefully you guys know who that is. Downside there, nice move on the bid as well, not really doing anything. AHT Gold. There's Virgin Galactic heading to the downside, but we're looking for that 46.50 Royal. And there's the baby. There it is. What's up, Palantir? How are you doing today? We'll wait to see what Palantir has in store for us. We always trade it, obviously. You can see right here. This is probably 50 or 80 fills. They're like, some of my charts are loading, some aren't. We crushed Palantir on the week. On Thursday, Friday, last week, buying these dips. We'll see if we can't do the same today. But we're pretty low on Palantir. We've talked about selling it off. We did get out of some of our position at 26.60. Now we'll look to see if we hold this 24.25 like we did on Thursday, Friday. Keep saying Thursday, 24.25. So let's get a little bit low bids down and around there. See if we can't pick it up, and then we'll get rid of it if it dumps below 24.
All right, let's talk Tesla here quickly, guys, before we get towards the open. Too far. Made this red to green move early on this morning after Canaccord came out with an upgrade, I should say, on Tesla. We didn't quite break back above some of these levels from Friday. However, 682 trying to hold as support right now. Overall, pretty positive. It's interesting, though. They upgrade the stock, but then in the report itself, it actually said demand in China still lags some of its competitors in that country. So positive, but kind of, maybe.
What?
I mean, last time Tesla went sideways for a while and got boring, it was good. So, like, I'm not going to be like, whoops, that's not supposed to adjust on the daily chart, so you don't want to see that. But, like, we had that consolidation. It was boring off 540. Then it broke out. Now it's boring, and then you're looking for a 700 break. So I would wait till you catch the 700 break, or you play that 665. I said this last week, like, playing in the middle on Tesla, it's just not terribly exciting, but you get that 665 bottom and can hold that. I think that's good for a bit of a long. Could you consider shorting it through a momentum? We'll see what happens in the overall market. Just make sure there isn't a correction or pullback. And then 700 still is yet to be broken, and the longer you consolidate, we like consolidation breaks. That's going to stand out for me on Tesla, but it doesn't have to happen today, guys. I'm taking a different line on DD, as you guys know that. DIDI. Wow, imagine spelling that wrong. Should never happen today. So DD. I did take that short. I got out of it twice. I get some in front of the low of the day. I said I would get back in when it broke 12. Then already scalped some out in front of 11.75. And then we'll short on pops into consolidation areas. Just staying active with it. The one that's crazy, I mean, I don't know. Like this WB, there was that story. Of course, it ends up being bunk and not true that they're going private. It's now not doing much. So I'm short at 61.50 there, and I'm just watching it like watching paint dry. And the stock was up at $80 and then back down to 60, and now is intent on not moving. But I do feel as long as it's below that 62 where there's a big seller, I want to be short that name as well. And watch out for that OSAT. It's at the high of the day, but someone asked in chat, I'm looking dip by around 775 to 8 even area.
Okay, so talking major cap tech here, we're just going to spit the money out and go daps up for everybody that's with us here on AMD, guys, as this one just continues to be a monster to the long side. You know, I've been buying AMD and tweeting it out. If you guys can follow me on Twitter, you'll see my long-term plays as they pop in there. We've been loving this long time. Me and Brendan both bought this thing sub 80, sub 75-ish around here. So that's a nice move upside. Watch out for AMD looking to take out a Hyundai, man. 95.50. What a run this name's been on. And then you want to talk about another one. We recently just bought this just a couple weeks ago. I remember I was going nuts with NVIDIA. I think I took a $20-something winner the day that it did that reverse split and talk about it. When it's going to, I think it's 5-1. And it was only at 600. And I was saying, it was over and over again. I wish I could find. I have over 5,000 tweets. I just realized there yesterday, so I can't go back and find them. But can you search your profile? You probably can. Anyways, Nvidia to the downside, not. We loved this name. Okay, well now it's still on the AMD chart for the long term. Let's go this one. We loved this down here at 600. Had no idea why it wasn't ripping on that day. I think it was probably, I can't remember where it was. It must have been. It was around 590, 600. It must have been right here that it didn't really go up, and then it just started taking off. Multiple upgrades, multiple everything. NVIDIA for the win. The pick of the year was SMH for an ETF, and that's just rocking and rolling as well. As right now, yeah, things moving in the nice direction for us here. As Wish back into the money. AXLA not doing anything. MRIN still a banger on a 30-cent win still side. So with only 5 minutes to go, we're already in 4 positions. We're looking to get into space. We're looking to get into Neo. And then we talked about AMD. My other friend, not foe, is Mr. Softy. Valeria got this one. I can't believe I gave you Microsoft, Valeria, on the guess a symbol thing that we have on the YouTube Shorts. But Microsoft, just an absolute monster to the upside. Look at Friday's action, just took off. And you're going to see the same today. So lots of love for you, Mr. Softy. Let's see where we go today.
Couple minutes left before we get to the open, guys. Let's talk about ODT. Nothing new this morning on this, so that's the first thing to note. We were significantly higher than where it ended on Friday. One of their largest backers came out after market on Friday and said their stake is actually a lot bigger than was first disclosed. So we've come all the way back to these levels from Friday, so it does need to get below 4 if it's going to continue to the downside. This is 330, 340 from back on Friday before the pop in the aftermarket, so it needs to get below 4. If it starts to hold, we could get a push back to 440, 450 for ODT.
And not OBT, OSAT. We just quickly talked about that. We're only 4 minutes to go here, guys. But spiking up. I think it's only about like an 8% short interest last I checked, but it's not the first time it's squeezed. It has gone to $11 before. You're seeing it make a bit of a run into that $9 range. I just sort of quickly said if it sells off the open, I am looking back into the 75 to 8 even, I guess, cluster area here. So forget about them. I don't care about VWAP this early in the morning. Maybe that can matter later on in the day. I'd look for that 75 area, maybe like 8 to start it off there. If it rolls over a little bit, of course, we do have, I scalped some of it MRIN out because it got to this like 2750 level for the second time and then just ran to a bit of resistance, right? So I'm like, okay, let's trim it off because if it does sell through 2640, I do feel like there could be one of those like wipeouts where they're trying to flush some people out before it goes to the long side. And I sort of target right around this 2475 area here. So what's previous resistance before, and then maybe that would be where you could confidently buy a dip. And look, that's like $2 away from a 27 long. So holding a 27 long into there as opposed to just covering it and looking for the better price. To me, that doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense. So I'm going to hang on to Marin for now into the open. But if it breaks that 2640, I'm out and looking for that dip buy opportunity. We're watching Space and Neo, of course, and DD. It's not to beat a dead horse, but there's a lot of Chinese names that are moving around today, none more than DD, and the volume is like 20 million plus now. It did try to get back up to that 12 level, so no average in for me there. It's too close to 930, but still trending towards the low of the day. And there are no levels on DD to the downside because these are all-time lows. They just IPO'd.
Yeah, we're just watching. Hopefully we'll watch as the stacks keep adding up here on DIDI. Hopefully it just keeps going to the downside. 1180 was the stop spot there. So we'll wait to see. Check quickly here. WTI turns lower. Okay, so we saw that. We already talked about that quickly. Where's the imbalance locator at? Here it is. So DD was 4 million, 5 million, right? Now you're seeing it. And when you're looking at this screen, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at the paired value plus that. So far there'll be at least a 5 million share print off the open. And this doesn't mean that it's going to come. Just because it's a sell doesn't mean it's going to come off the bid. They're going to pair this. Now it's growing, so maybe now it will. They're going to pair these off, right? And so, the market maker could just say, okay, a fair price right now is 86. We're going to, take shares out of look, I mean, it's going to be out of inventory. It looks like at this time there's not going to be 3 million shares anywhere on the bid. So we're going to watch out for that name as it keeps going. Oh, there's Clover as well on the sell side. What's Clover doing today? This is a 1-minute chart. Ooh, okay, Clover, I see you. Down 4.5% there, Clover. Okay, Clover. Clover looking, Brendan, this is a nice one here. Clover looking like it may want to break this $11 mark. So now that Clover's beyond here, we're going to go short Clover through 11, guys. Sorry to say that. I know a lot of you are holding that. But right now, DD 80 cents, Marin 20 cents, Wish flat, and AXLA flat. But I do like this Clover. Wow, that's a decent move downside. Let's wait to see where we go here on a possible short through 11 down to 10 and change. So we'll see. I'm not going to take the short right away, but I'm going to add it here to my watch list. I don't even have a watch list, just in my brain, because I don't want this sell to affect my opening trade, right? Like it could bust through 10 and then rip right back up once that sell is done. So we're going to watch out for that one. There's only 40 seconds, and we do have someone famous on the bell today. So get ready to rock and roll. It's Tuesday. You may guess who it is with only 30 seconds to go. You're going to see him very, very shortly. Let's get ready to rock and roll, guys.
Let's get ready to rock and roll. Donut, watch out for Krispy Kreme making a bit of a move as well back to the upside, trying to get positive on the session. It rolled over at that 21. We thought that might possibly happen there, guys. Let's drop the countdown in. Well, that actually went off early. Usually there's a bit of a delay when I hit it, so it's off by like 2 or 3 seconds. Randy is on the bell. I see you there, Randy. Not yet. Give it 3, 2, and 1. Now ring it, Randy. We got Tuesday. It is Tuesday, not Monday, but that WB, oh my goodness, it just made a flush, of course. I was able to get some shares out there at the 60 level because it just flushed again through 61. I took some shorts, multiple shorts here. They're not going private, so I want to short every single pop that we can within reason, because if it gets back above that 65 on the daily, I want to be out.
Okay, so Marin just ripping around right now. It's going to be hard to find out where we're going to get in or out of this one. Marin software ripping. We'll take another bid if we can get it, but that's just moving around a little bit here. AXLA, I don't have any bids yet downside. Actually, I do have one at 450, but again, really sad. This one's not moving. Look at the market starting to go upside here. We don't have an AMD on. We probably should now that I'm noticing this market go. So 495. I was looking for some pullback levels. I was actually waiting down here, 94.50, but it looks like we just missed that one to 94.67. This is probably worth a buy here. Look at the NASDAQ, though, screaming to the upside right here. Oh, we just got a big, AMC. So AMC in now on AMC on a 54 break, guys.
I'm not going to look gift horse in the mouth. I just took another leg out here, 1160 on DD.
Yeah,
so
look at
the
DD,
12
baby.
break works, the consolidation break works. It continues to fall. There's no levels. There's no bottoms. These are all-time lows because it's a recent IPO. I just want to quickly go to NIO here. NEO goes the other way, so there's no break of that 48.50 level. Looks like the support has been good. We're right up to $50. Remember, it broke 50 Friday, multiple back and forth times. 51.50 could be that next level of resistance. So 48.50, we like breaks of support, but support didn't even get tested here on NEO. Good sign for them, as the other Chinese names are obviously getting hit. I'll say.
Yeah, we like that 48.50 level. We also like AMC here. Let's see if we get some out now along 54.50 there. We'll see. I mean, it just touched 55. We'll see if it can run back to the upside right now. That's still going to be up for question. We'll see. AXA, here we go, man. We're bidding 51s. This is another banger. Bang, there it is. So we'll go chicken dinner winner on AXLA there on another easy short for me on that one. I mean, this one lined up absolutely perfect. That's a no-brainer short there, but we did cover half. So now we'll see. Now if it wants to rip up, fine. But that was a big break there for us on AXLA. That was a good one for sure. Wish now, 13. Okay, big level on Wish, but we did get that bid down low. So we are now long Wish 26. So let's see where we go from here on WISH. A nice little reload on the long side. And there it is, man. Another one. Man, are we doing it today. There's AMC with another one. Another winner for AMC, 50 cents upside on that. So we'll wait to see. Our Marin does fall down. So we do lose there on Marin. Now we'll wait to see where it goes from here. We're holding a very, very small piece. I want to get long again on a 26 break, but Marin, the only name not working for us right at this point, guys.
Yeah, I covered my Marin. Told you guys that 26.40 I was going to get out. Look back towards that 25 cluster. I have dipped back into those shares. If we can hold this, I think we can get that bounce. I mentioned B Square, at least briefly, that we're going to short that one through that $5 break. I did get it here at 97s. It got all the way down to 80s, but as I was, of course, looking at another name, it snapped back to the upside. Looks like it's going to be a good short. It's up 24%. I get that, but this is that rollover play. It looked the weakest of the bunch. Seems like that's going to continue to be true. MRIN is trying to bounce here. So it looks like we picked a decent level. I'll definitely take some out in the front side of 26, see if we can't bag like 70 to 80 cents worth of a win in front of VWAP, and then see if we can't hold the rest of that trade. So MRAN, we allow it to calm down, maybe bounce to the downside a little bit there, and then see if we can't dip buy successfully. I wanted to dip buy on OSAT. Of course, that has not happened. It's going only to the upside. So at least MRIN gave us that other opportunity. OSAT going straight through the top, or at least attempting to go straight through the top, 925. Watch out. If it fails to break this, there could be a quick little short there for you. But 925 on the break. There it goes.
Uh-oh, Amazon, thank you for the call there, Brendan. Amazon now at all-time high. I guess this tech name has definitely ripped to the top of my board. I tweeted out last week that I had Google, Softy, and was it Amazon? No, it wasn't. It's Facebook maybe, were my largest, that's not Facebook, it's something else. Maybe it's Apple, I guess. My largest holdings there in text land, but Amazon may take that over right now with a big move here to the upside. 2% on Amazon, wow. That's all-time highs right there on AMZN there. Did you have one there, Neil? What were you saying?
No, I was just saying that's a big move for Amazon. It doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, that's a big move for Amazon. OSAT, it just broke that 25 for the long. I was able to scalp some out here, got 45. Looks like that was the best price, and then immediately starting to fail. So I said it could be a bit of a fail break. That's why we played a little bit cautiously with that one getting out of it. And maybe it takes a 950. Watch that for the next leg up. 950 break on OSAT. Brennan?
Yeah, I didn't have time to pace this, guys, but today's the first day for Andy Jassy. So Jeff Bezos' replacement is the word I'm looking for. Today is day number 1 for him.
Right. Okay. So that makes sense. Thank you, Ms. V. Always a pleasure when I get the coffees. Thank you, Ms. V. We love that. Just looking on here. Yeah, good call there, Brendo. On that name, we'll look for Amazon there. I'm not in it. We are in Wish, though. Wish looking to take out the top. Come on, baby. Am I not offering this thing? I'm at 49s. It went to 48 there, so we missed out on a little bit of Amazon love there. Wish love. We got to get a little bit more out on this one if we can. Good trade here for Wish. Other than that, man, everything else working out pretty good. AMC did fall back down, so we're not heavy in this name, but we got to look to get some more out on this or average in. So more work to come on Amazon. I can't believe we missed that Wish by 1 cent. We were at 49, guys. It went to 48. So let's just change that up a little bit here.
And there was another name here. IC was on our watch list. Well, a lot of names on our watch list. This one getting absolutely crushed. Was watching a double bottom here at 790 on this name, but it's already come back all the way in. The WB, not Warner Brothers. Another pop to the upside. And like I said, I short the breakdown here when it flushed, but I said I would short the pops after the open. We've gone ahead and done that. Every single time it gets to about 60 bucks, there's been a bit of a bid that it tries to catch here, so I'll probably continue to scalp trade at least $1 to $1.50 in that range, which we're going to go ahead and do one more time. So we'll drop the whiz action. That's what we call this one, the whiz. Anyway, it's not king or anything, it's the whiz. And if we break this 59, I'm still bidding in front of 55 because 54.30 is where this thing closed. They're not being taken private. There's the Chinese risk. I mean, you pile up all the reasons you want. If this thing trades above that 65, which on the daily chart was this level here, then Bob's your uncle, and I'm losing on the short. It is what it is on WB. Brendo?
Ashford Hospitality Trust, an early mover here, guys. AHT had a big move down late in the day on Friday. They came out with an update for their current quarter, some revenue numbers that weren't good, but just broke that pre-market high, back above 3 on monster volume here for AHT.
Man, we found a level there, and we missed it, though, unfortunately, on AMC. So, yeah, damn it, we were looking at that 53.50 level just as the day bottom. I wanted to do a little bit more work, but, yeah, we missed that opportunity to get that. So now we'll bid back down here and watch out for 53. It did take out 53. It tried to anyways, and then a big bounce back up. So we'll see if it does do that again. 52.85 or so could be a decent out there for us on AMC. So we'll see where that one flies to. Wish we did get that out there at 44, 45. So bang 30, bang 15. So our average price there still intact, 25. So we'll see now. 25-cent winner on Wish going to the upside there. AXLA doing its thing. DD on the way back up there. So it did bottom out at 1160. This is a good opportunity maybe to get some more short on WISH. So we'll look at that one as well.
And then DD you meant, right?
DD, sorry, yeah, not Wish. Yeah, good call there. And then AMD now, I don't know, man. This is choppy. Like, you ever heard of chop before? Look at this. Bang, 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 up and down, up and down. So we'll wait to see a little bit more interest there on AMD, but I think we got to get some more DD short here. What's up, Brendo?
Yeah, here we go. First of the chip makers to pop up on volume. This time it is Micron, MU, guys. Day highs. Nice look here. 81.50 coming into play, but still right in the middle of this mess on the daily chart, though, for MU.
Yeah, sometimes you want to wait till it breaks. Like I like Micron, but I think allowing it to break, of course, on earnings, despite as good as they were, sometimes you get that sell-off, which we anticipated, and it happened, guys, over and over again. Sean just mentioned DT consolidating at 12 once again. I think if it breaks 12.05 here, decent chance you might get back up to that 12.30 level. So as much as I want to dig in, you know what, I'll take a little bit here. But as much as I want to dig in on everything pop to the upside, it is short sell restricted. You can't hit the bid. I want to have some room that we can take like a 12.25 to 12.35 short if it gets up to those prices, of course. And then watch out for B square. Hip to B square, it is not hip to be short B square, as it just made a press to its high. Now this is the top end of this range at 550. Watch out for that one. B squared now running with the others to that upside. Brendo?
So there's B square, and then there's also just square. Yeah, not a red candle yet, guys. 240.5 to 247.5 here for square, guys.
Oh, hell yeah, the fintech. We love ourselves some fintech. As you guys know, we're hella long Square, PayPal, Coinbase, and then, of course, this name. I don't even want to look it up anymore. What is PaySafe doing? I mean, this name is not doing anything. So this is probably the dog of them all. So PaySafe, we'll wait to see, man. I know a lot of you guys are in this name as well. I still believe in it, but yeah, the chart doesn't. So you got to watch out, man. It's going to break 11. It's not a good look for PaySafe, that's for sure. Okay, so we did average into DD there. So that's going to be a good trade. Hopefully, we talked about holding this one forever. We took it there at 12.02. Now you're down to 11.94. 11.57 is the bottom of this name. So we're going to hold that hopefully forever, and we'll wait to see where that goes, like we keep saying. Wish does come back down a little bit. So Wish had a problem there at 60, which was a little bit of a surprise. I thought we'd have the ability to go there. We talked about this level, I guess, is 12.90. So really, I shouldn't be surprised if we stop at 12.60. Probably should have took some out. My offer's actually right around there. My offer's at 12.72. So we just missed that out by 12 cents, but I think we can probably get it again. So we'll wait on Wish right now. Still in the money, so nothing to worry about on that one. We've averaged in here now to AMC, so our AMC long is still in, and we still think it can be okay. But we do have that 52.50 right here. That's actually 52.80 as a level there to watch out for. So we break through this 52.50, then I think we got to get out of there. So we'll take AMC until 52.50 breaks, and then we'll take a hit on that one. But AMC right now hasn't been a good one if I'm ever holding on to it. So I got to try to remember that as much as I can for AMC. So 52.50 is going to be my out, and I have to trust it and just take it out if it does go down there. So 52.50 with a couple average in, that's going to be my target for an out if I'm wrong on the long here for AMC. It doesn't look so good, man. Only up 3% right now.
Oh, sometimes the best trade you make is the one where you're very cautious. I said watch out, be careful on 925 break and OSAT, be ready to reverse it pretty quickly, or at least get out of it pretty quickly. It just bounced down towards 880. We talked about, $8. We talked about 775 to 8 even. Doesn't quite get there. We just turned at $8, 802 to be specific. Yep. I thought we'd catch a dip in that price range. We did miss it by just a little bit. That oh my goodness. I said I would not call WB Warner Brothers, and then I just started doing it. Again, bounces off that 60 level. So each time it cannot break through 60, and we got as low as 58 or 58.80. I'm going to probably try to take better prices each time. So last entry, we got like 62s. I'd be looking 63, 63 half on any kind of a pop, but I want to stay on the south side of this trade. Miss V?
Hey Neil, could you give us a quick review on CUEN stock? This name spiked at the open, and now it's around 6% up. Back to you.
CUEN. I remember CUEN from last week. Look. Not going to have all of them on my radar. Sorry, I'm going to give you an answer for that in just a second. We got to go to Brendan for news.
Some of the cybersecurity stocks popping up here. CRWD, first off, just broke 52-week highs. They're talking about that increase in ransomware. Apparently, the latest one now, 70 million price tag on it. So heads up on some of these today, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I love those cybersecurity names there. Marin goes down to 24 and change. We'll see it just touched 25.75 again. So we're going to try to get some winners on this one. But right now, Marin Software, we are averaging into this, man. 25.29 is our average price. So yeah, it just put us back to positive, but we didn't take it. So we got to be a little more diligent on that trade.
Yeah, just to come back to quickly to CUEN here. It did already make a top last week, and you got this like 9 and change level, and then lower highs put in for a couple of days here off of that 80. And this is exactly what you're going to see failing, almost to a penny here, 770. The volume is creeping away from this recently. That's why you get a bit of it was that 930 rollover at 770. That's a significant level that it did it. So I'm not necessarily going to be bullish until you break above that price. I don't really have any dip buy levels for it there. I do want to jump over to Tesla. Whoops. I want to jump over to Tesla if I can pretty quickly here for you guys. We just dipped down, and do it first, Neil. Don't talk. So we just dipped down to 665. Right? And I always say, okay, well, sometimes I'll be yapping away saying, oh, I want to get into the buy off of any move down to 665 on Tesla. And I could have still been talking about that. You guys know I like 666. 665 technically has been a bit of a level as well. So I jump in after it tests a level and holds. It holds 665, then I get in. Instead of sort of jumping in front of the sword at 9:43 in the morning, I just got 667.14 long. 666 would be better, but then it's also an ominous number. So that to the long side. WB finally breaks 60. It's a couple of dollars in the money. I'll try to take 250, maybe $3 on the next leg, and then I want this thing back to where it closed on Friday. Tesla, I'll be looking for the 70 level, and then, look, I think you're going to have some resistance at 675. That is likely to be true, especially with that sell-off coming in today. We are seeing the ES fall to the downside, turning negative on the session.
Are you kidding me right now with Clover? I didn't want to take it because of that imbalance, and then I should have. Like, this is the thing. Like, sometimes you psych yourself out, man. We gave you that 11.25 print. That's $1 in the money right now. So this Clover trade, $1 in the money now on Clover. So yeah, we should have. I mean, obviously, looking back on this name, that was a no-brainer. But you know, what are we gonna do? We should have. I mean, I got away from it. Like, that broke that level there in the pre-market. We talked about that on that sell, and that was just like, we should be short this name for sure, Clover. But maybe now is it getting a base here, just bouncing off VWAP 1035. Downside, like maybe 950 or so. What is that upside? 10. Yeah. So damn it. We had that, man. We talked about this Clover early, guys. We missed that short because we got scared of that imbalance. That's a big mistake. What's up, B?
3 days in a row here for Oracle, guys. If you remember last week, Thursday, Friday, Oracle made a couple of moves up to 82, extending that today, 2% already, but nice look for ORCL.
All right, so AMC is going to come out, and yeah, Oracle, we love that old tech, man. I'm in IBM a lot, so we had a new management change over there on IBM, so we'll wait to see that one. A nice bounce. Oh, that's still Clover chart. You know, this was what I'm saying, no bounce at all for AMC, so our last bid is right here. And again, we took a little bit of profit, and I said that we'd try this game today, but AMC looks to go red right now, so we will get out of this one if it breaks back down below 52.50. Like I said, you could get back down here to 50 today, so we're definitely not going to hold this. I think it was well worth the shot there on AMC. We'll give it one more little chance here with, no, not the bear. No, oh, the bear. Oh, that's a bad sign. Let's go this one. Here we go. We'll see if the popcorn can get AMC to go, but right now, looks like we're going to break, guys. 52.50 will be gone on AMC, and that'll be our first realized loser here of the day, and it's not a good one. It's just, you know, whatever. There goes AMC. Don't break. It's going to break 52.50 anyway, so that's going to be gone, and we'll refresh it from there.
Yeah, and Tesla could not hold that level. We broke that 65, so I'll take the hit on Tesla. We'll do that one because that's the one I'm on. I would have slapped the face, but I'm not on that page right now. MRIN also cannot hold up. Now it's testing down towards its pre-market low. This is basically your line in the sand area. I've held off on adding anything until we test this 23 level, so if you can't catch a bid off of 23, and they're going to be in a lot of trouble here in MRIN. First test, it just made a slight little bounce there. Actually got down to like 22.90, but you're going to get a little bit of a bounce. It's trying to hold up. You're going to see it start to, there we go. You can see it actually start to hold an offer below that particular price. So this is the big test. It just flushed out. You saw the bid come down to like 20s or 30s or so. If it cannot recover and then recover quickly, and you're seeing the offer sort of teeter here, then there's no ad for me. If we can snap back above 23, I would jam in the recent low that it just put in, 22.30. That would be that kaputs level, and WB again holds a 60 bid. Got to get more aggressive taking that one out. It looks like they found some buyers. MRIN looks like it just made that push back above 23 even. I'll see if I can't get some shares above that 23 to buy on that little dip. Wanted to see it hold that level first before we jumped into it. So now we've added to MRIN. DD, the other one, and I want to come back over to DD. I don't want to get too far away from it as well. It got right back to 12 even, got up to 12.12. I was only adding that one time. I thought if it broke 12, it would head all the way up to 12.25, 12.30. That has not happened, so the only addition has been right here at the even level on DD. It's not catching much of a bid. Want MRIN to, though.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we want everything to catch a bid that you're long on, including AMC. It looks like we survived that, guys. So let's take out a little bit here if we can at 08, 09 or so. There it is. So we'll take a little bit out. We did call that bottom level there. So really happy with some of the action on AMC, saving us a little bit of money there. We almost got taken out, literally to the penny there. So sometimes we make bottom wick. Bottom wickens. Hey, that was a good one again. Thank you for whoever made that up. I like that. But there we go. We do not make bottom wickens there. Now we'll go to the upside and see where we go from here on AMC. Looks like we're right back, almost right back into the money on this. And then DD not doing what I thought it would do. That's for sure. DD now making us look, or making me look a little silly there holding on to it. We're still 40 cents in the money, and I do want to average into this. So our next spot's going to be right around here, 12.30, 12.40 or so for DD. And again, I'm just waiting for that news piece to come through that tells me that it's back in the App Store, and then we'll get taken out here at 13.20. If we're calling for Brendan, we can go.
Yeah, Apple, guys, just mentioning here a couple of things. First off, got above some important levels on Friday. So we did close above that last high on Friday for Apple, up another 1.5%. JP Morgan, guys, out with a price target increase for Apple today.
Ooh.
It is one of those days where it's going to be that big tech day. SQBG, by the way, guys, just halted up 50% as well. This was one you might remember from last week, and I like trading on halts. Obviously, you're going to see it test right back into this like 20. I mean, it's like a 28 high that you're going to want to watch. But it reversed hard at $25 on Friday's action. Again, it's testing up into the pre-market highs. If it opens and can't break 22.40, I'm just going to get some locates here. If it opens and cannot break that 22.40 area or holds the halt price here, then we're going to watch out for this. Sorry, if it holds below that 24, I should say, we're going to watch out for that to the south side. If it jailbreaks 25 even on SQBG, you really want to be very, very careful with this one, guys. So currently, it looks like a 5-minute halt, so it should be open up in about a minute or so. You're seeing a little bit of trading happening at that 24.20 price. But SQBG back on the radar. We like halt trades. We want to stay active in it. DD, I thought we're about to average into this on DD. And one more time, it just stalls out. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I thought there'd be more volatility. There you go. I thought there'd be more volatility. Starts to pop up, you up again, and then immediately reverses. So it just hasn't been able to give that bigger move to get the better prices just yet. Maybe it's coiling up for a move. I haven't seen anything that dissuades me from still taking the short if it pops. But at some point, I do want this thing to get going.
Yeah, DD needs to get going to the south side for sure. We're still fine with it. We've averaged in, we're still 30 cents in the money on DD. This AXLA, though, is kind of like meh. Not really doing anything, although we already have a nice little win on this one. It only goes as low as 40 there. I think we could still even get lower than this. So let's just watch out for AXLA. That's still the same short we've had on all day on AXLA. So we're going to wait for that one to come through. And then let's check out our NEO. You guys are here trading it. I know this is a popular name for the viewers there. We called that 48.50 level, and that looks like that was about as gold as it could get off the open. I mean, it only goes down to $49 off the open, so we don't even break. I hate not having the past data on this, but what a move up to 50, 70. Wow. Yeah, so that, again, people ask what Chinese name would you get into? I don't have any problems with NEO. I mean, they're delivering cars. They seem to be the belle of the ball there. The government, the CCP has money in NEO, so we know that that's going to be a good one there. So I'm almost talking myself into this right now. What about this? 49.75. Let's go long 49.75. NEO if we get that break, guys. 49.75 on NEO long.
And SQBG has opened back up. You're going to get another trade halt there. Well, sorry, you're going to get another. Well, I thought it was actually going to halt up at 27.50. It reversed off of that potential. I'll call it potential halt price at 27.50. Usually that's a decent shot for a bit of a short trade, but if I don't catch that at like a 27, I'm not going to chase it. Don't chase. I always tell myself that over and over again. If it makes another push up, fair enough. If it halts to the downside, that could be another entry point in. You're going to see you got that line at the previous halt up, 24.20, where it was printing before. You're seeing it bounce off that price range. So I want to be patient with it. MRIN got back to close to 24. I'm long at 23.92. So for now, that 23 level, that lower level got held. Until we can see another catch off that bid, I want to stay patient in adding anything to MRIN. I'll take some off in front of 25. And DD's getting close to 12.20. That would be an entry point for me. At some point, WB needs to break this 60 level. Now, I'm sitting here 61.76 short. I can be happy about it. That's still SQBG there. But every single time it gets down to the 60 level, you can see the bid recover every single time, but it's still firmly in the money. The stock, they're not going private, so I can't think of a reason why it should be trading to the upside here. This break needs to follow through. So hopefully I can get that $3 or $2.50 win on some of these shares, and the rest we're going to cover in front of 55 because that's where it happened to close on Friday. I think it goes all the way back or it blows out that 65. So hanging out here in the middle wouldn't make a heck of a lot of sense to me.
There goes AMC. It's going down in the toilet there, as it does now break that 52.50. But this may be a spot, guys, where it does bounce eventually back to the upside. So that was a good little long there. We're going to wait to see if we can't, if we can't take this a little bit longer. We're looking for that volume spike, remember, off the bottom. So we'll wait to see where it goes. Now it's not doing that at all. It's continuing to go to the downside, but See, oh, that's still the Neo chart. Like, what is going on? Let's go. We got to switch these charts over. I'm looking for a big spike on volume there. That doesn't really seem like that came on that break. So I'm not super excited about the long off this spot. So we will watch out for there. So that one just did come out. DD, AXA still doing the same thing. Everything else just moving around. So that might have been the bottom. I mean, maybe that 52.50 was the bottom. We went as low there as 52.36. So look at that, right where we stopped on that move on Friday. So I think that's going to be a decent short, 52.30 to the bottom there, if we can get that 52 short on AMC. We have to pay for shorts, I believe, on that name, so I'll have to get in there and do that. Wish right now, here comes 12. So we're back into this area. We'll take one more long, and then we'll see if it breaks to the downside. So Wish, we're trying. We've already captured some profit on this name, but we will give it all back here if it does break back down below this 1180, right? So we thought that decent news was there. It's funny, I've been hating on Wish for so long, and then today now I decided to go long, and so be it. I'm going to lose. AMC continuing its fall down, though, guys.
As a day trader, as a day trader, you're gonna play price action as you see it, guys. And sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not. I mean, like I don't love Wish either. But sometimes it is a long trade. I'll show you Tesla here, guys. You have to have a bit of a stop. And when it flushed through my level, I just got out of it. I wasn't going to fight it. I think you get past this. 665, I think 640 might be the next leg down. It still has a chance to recover above 665, but with the market basically flat and a lot of other tech names performing pretty nicely, as Brendan's shown you, Tesla, I'll stay away from it until it makes a bit of a base. SQBG just halted again, this time to the downside. So I said don't chase it. I didn't chase it. That's obviously going to be the wrong decision. I wasn't able to catch it when it broke that 24.20 level, but now halted to the downside. Look for maybe a 21 hold. If you're still long one of these things, I mean, it halts 2 times to the upside. Usually you should be taking profit, especially if you can get 40 to 50%. We say it over and over again. It's not to beat a dead horse. It's just because you see enough of these, and at some point you're just a bag holder in a name that you maybe didn't want to be, and you're playing for momentum. When the momentum gives you a win, just take it. Just take the win and run. DD is now trying to make that move to the upside, so bouncing off 12. This could be that spike that gets us into that 25 to 40 area, guys. So maybe this is it on DD. We're back to even on MRIN. I want that to break up to 25 or close to it before I take any shares out. And WB is haunting me. I'm probably going to just, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. There's no point sitting just above 59 if it's going to hang out in this range. I should just be taking the $2, and then the rest of the shares I can hang on for more. Otherwise, I'm shorting the next pop that happens in WB. It's getting a little bit sleepy, and I don't mind a $2 winner, but the stock went from 53 to 81 and now wants to hang out in the $2 range. A little bit surprised it's not closer to those lows, so I will once again scalp some profit off as it makes sense to do so. If it breaks down, my next out is in front of 55.
Okay, so we just got another Wish bid there at the bottom. So yeah, we're trying to bottom pick a few names here. Not not that we like the bottom here on Wish, but we're gonna wait to see where it goes because I think that what's my average price now? 16. So we're back to flat on it. So back up to VWAP is an okay level there for 1227. 1228 or so here on Wish. So if we can get into here, I think that's a decent spot. We'll start to carry some off on that one. We've averaged, Neil just talked about, we've averaged into our DD trade, so we'll see where that one goes. Whoopsies, where that one goes from now, I think it'll be okay. That is DD, so I don't know. I mean, you guys know my plan. I'm not getting out of this one until 1320, so it could be a monster loser for me if that does happen. And then that AXLA not doing anything, and then Neo also did not break. So Neo hasn't really done anything. We're waiting for it to break here. That didn't happen. 49.75, or was it 49.50? I'll review that. Yeah, 49.75. That didn't break. And then I don't mind a Tesla to the upside here, but you got to watch out. I mean, the NASDAQ's not doing anything right now. It's just hovering around. So I like a 663 break right here. So if we can break that to the high side, we will get out of some TSLA, or get into some TSLA through 663. So if that breaks, you know that I'm going to be in that one, guys.
And OSAT makes another test of the high. It was a fail break at 925. Obviously, we had it, and then we're able to at least be break even. Oh, it's just slightly up on the trade there when we do get some profit out. But 950 then does a similar trade. No, it actually goes up to 75 before reversing again. So a bit of a stronger move. You had that base off of, I mean, this is going to make me sick to my stomach. It's at 775 to 8 even. It goes to like 801, 802. It never enters the target area. Sometimes you got to step in front of that target area. Clearly that would have been good. I didn't do it, so you're not going to see a long win there. If it does hold up now above VWAP and maybe that $9 could be there's still a jailbreak possibility. Well, jailbreak possibility. It's up 77%. It's already jailbroken. But there could be another leg to the upside here in OSAT, even if it was stalled out the first couple of times through those top end breaks. Watch for that 975 area. $10 is going to stand in the way, of course. So personally, I would always scalp some out on a top break, quarters to evens, evens to the next quarter. That's just how we do it here when we're day trading. Plenty of volume on OSAT, but a nice strong move after holding that target area almost to a T.
Yeah, a good call there. Sometimes it is tough to get that long, of course, when that comes through. So we'll watch out for some of these trades here coming out right now, including space. So here it is. We talked about taking this long. We like it. We like it a lot. We talked about this long. I was just trying to get into this name, and then all of a sudden it pops in right now. So we'll take out a bit here at 80 if we can. There's space right now. So there's the bid. We talked about going long 46.70. Bang, there it is again. Let's go. Let's go to the upside right now on SPCE and see how far we can go now with this. As space looking to take out some more offers, we're going to go longer through 47 if it does break that level. But right now, it's a good trade. There it is. More. We just took more at 47, guys. Let's see how far space wants to go upside now. We have this trade. Don't know where it's going to go from here, but that 47, I didn't like how that held. So hopefully we can get a nice little bump to the upside now with space as it's trying to go again. So here we go. We are waiting for this one. 47. Go. Where's my offer now on space? I don't even know. Where do we put 23s? We just missed it. We put out 23s. Went to 21. Come on. Man, we're having some bad luck on some of these price calls, but we'll see. I still think space goes higher from here anyways, so good on that. Let's go. We're long space. Newest position on board.
And DD was able to get some on that last little pop. It got to 20, so finally it actually extends some kind of a move up to average into some shares to the short side. It's the first time we took it since that 12 even. If it bounces back to 12 and there's a big bid, I mean, we just added it 12, so if you're going to be active here, I'll probably pop a little bit out here, like 1203, 1204, something along those lines, and rinse and repeat. So short the pop, scalp them out, hold the core position. You know how it goes. Maybe a little more aggressive than WB because it's a $12 stock, not a $60 stock. You guys are headed to the big screen for Happening Now with Brendan.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at how things stand so far today. You can see both the S&P and the Dow back to the downside at this point. We are in negative territory. Only just 0.4 for the Dow leading the way as far as weakness is concerned, but the NASDAQ trying to hold in positive territory. You can see still green, but only just 0.3, 0.08 for the composite and the 100 to the upside. The Russell, full percent in negative territory. Here in Toronto, the TSX about 0.3 to the downside. Couple of things we were talking about in the pre-market, guys. Space, yeah, we mentioned this. 44.5 ended up being the bottom back on Friday, if you remember, straight to the upside for Virgin here. So 44 down to about 42, an area of note going forward. Big volume coming in for Virgin Galactic here. I mentioned the energy stocks, oil names, 6-year high for oil. We talked about this, kind of faded off before the open. Yeah, continued and then some. Now down 1.5% for some energy plays. Guys, back over to you.
All right, so Wish, we just took a beautiful win on Wish again. Right to that target. Again, when we were in this name, for me, it's all about education. We keep telling you guys that over and over again, but I really, obviously, that's what I strive on, I think, anyways, is to do that. And look at this. I mean, right back into that area. We let it go through. I mean, it's a little bit. We could have taken 24, 25s ahead of VWAP. That's a little bit better, but it just spiked all the way up and got us out right at that level that we were sitting at. I didn't even put it at VWAP, but that's a good level there. Now we'll wait to see if we take out the high, but right now, Wish, good one. Like, you take that bounce level, we have this 1185. Some of these names you have to sort of stick with. And that one, I liked it. Wish. I didn't like it on Friday. Oh, now mine disappears. We had a beautiful short that we covered right here on Friday. This one, hopefully we can cover the long back at day's high. So Wish making it rain a little bit for me here today. It looks like we picked a decent level, 5250 here on AMC. It's just bouncing around this level. So I don't really have a call on this yet until we go. Okay, you just mentioned space there, Brendan. We did get out of the high there, 47.25. The high was actually 45 or so, but that's a good out. So long there, long in here, you can barely see it. And now we'll go to the upside here with Virgin. So we'll see if it could go now, but we already cashed out a little bit. Not a little bit, we only have 40%, less than 40% left here on Virgin Galactic. So next stop on this name. I told you we really, really like the long here today, so I think I gotta try to hold this just a little bit longer. Let's check out a 20-minute quickly. We don't need to go so fast, guys. We can just calm down here. here on some of our trades. That's 48 even level. So I think, how many shares do I have? Yeah, maybe we could take some out at 48, but I'm just wondering if we do just slowly grind upside here today off some nice candles, man. A nice little retrace back. Got rid of all this garbage from Friday. Now we'll go up to the 48 and change. This is on the sticky note. So if you can find me on Twitter, you'll find the sticky note there as well. So we did have this long 46.40 was a big one for us. What's up, B?
Futures continuing to slide. We had the June ISM non-manufacturing number there that just came out. PMI, I should say, my fault there. 60.1 versus 63.5. So market coming off a little bit further, guys.
So a couple of things here. One, failed breakout through on OSAT. You saw it go up to like 975, immediately reverses back into 9 even. It's now clustering down here. So you get too many failed breaks on this. I'm going to hang to the south side on it. I'm not going to change the chart here, but DD, once again, back down to that 12 level. Not a huge bid down there, but I think enough to take a little bit of profit in front of that 12 even. So you see me reversing on OSAT. That was a harsh rejection. Too many times has it rejected off that top break after strong moves here, not to try the short side of the trade. MRIN got there. Well, I shouldn't say got there. Almost got there. Almost a VWAP, that 25 area. The middle of this cluster, I was trying to get some shares out. It spiked up to 24.57. I was sitting there in the 70s. Now it's testing right back to that low. I've only added the one time it flushed down into the pre-market lows to that long that we had off of that cluster here at 25 even. So sitting in it while it's in the comfort range, but MRIN is running out of time to get going, guys. So it's not that I'm overly concerned with it. It's still up 17%, and I just want to show you guys how strong it's been on the daily chart. It's a good upward trend. If we're going to hit that button, then it should only ever be this button. That's the preferred one. If I'm going to look, I'm not even trading a cannabis stock. I'm not even looking at a cannabis stock. I can't even think of one that interested me today. But I just like that music and like jamming to it. Is what it is. OSAT still baselining here, but I can tell you when it broke that 75, it was a liquidity vacuum all the way down to about 9 to 925. Basically short in that cluster range. If it pops up and holds a lower high, I would look to be adding to that position on OSAT. It's just a little bit too much weakness there. And DD, is that for DD?
No, hell no. That's for space, boys and girls. The diamond hands are now back in the building. We called this one all day long here on this. We're so glad that we were able to hold that. We just did talk about it. I mean, if you're watching for the first time, let me put this in there because I just want to share as much as I can here, the sticky note. There's space. 46.50 long off a big move Friday. Should get some back. So there it is, man. 48. So that's 46.50 long right there. So that's, $1.30 in the money. Short all day on Martin was wrong. Short all day on DD there. AXLA short. We're going to watch AMD and Microsoft, and then NEO right now not really doing anything. So just to give you a couple little bit of an update there on what's popping off. Wish right now a nice move, man. Space, a beautiful move up 80 cents now. Bang out of that one. And then DD down to 12 again. There is that size there at 12. So I said I would hold it. I still want to hold forever and forever and forever. But we'll see if it breaks through 12 now. And if it does, man, maybe we'll get some out at 1180 on DIDI. So we could possibly do that one as it has retraced back. So we'll wait to get some out here on DIDI. But again, we're trying to hold it all if we can all the way to the bottom. So let's watch out here as DIDI putting some cash money in this kid's pocket.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep scalping, and every time it pops, I'm going to take some out when it gets to that 12. There is that size, and I said if there's size at 12 even, I would take a little bit out. It's trying to get through it now. I don't necessarily want to. Whoops, that's still OSAT. Come on, give me a break. I don't want to hit this bid. You can't hit the bid on DD, by the way, guys, because it is short sell restricted. But if it does just chew through there, I think it's a decent place to add if it consolidates off of 12 even. Every 20 cents or so looks pretty good on DIDI.
Okay, we'll hit the alert right now because we're in an NIO right now. So let's see if we could take some out around 86, 87 there it is, for a nice little pop. Bang! It's in again, man. Rain down the cash. Let's go, cash. As we continue to come down to the downside right now on DD, we're going to the upside on NIO. There's that banger right there at VWAP. We talked about loving that trade. It wasn't a VWAP trade at all. It's nice to see that it's VWAP now. We take it through this 49.60 break, 49.75 break. So there it is. We talked about that before. The Eternal something was really all over this NEO trade. So I don't know where you are now, my man, but we are now in it together. So let's go to the high side on NEO. $1, Brendan, plus $1 plus as we hit the cowbell for space as it continues to rock and roll. Yo, Morgan's wearing green today. What up, Morgan? As the NASDAQ continues to run, kill him softly, Brendo.
Just seeing Tesla guys remaining pretty weak here, continuing to the downside. In fact, just saw this New York Times article revealing the company is actually being sued for a death involving their autopilot. So anyone involved in Tesla, heavy volume, worth mentioning, heavy volume today for Tesla.
Guys, you guys want it, you guys get it.
Money, 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 money.
There it is. You guys wanted the spin. There it is, guys. Let's go higher, higher, higher as space continues to go. Maybe we'll have to cancel our Tesla bid based on that news there, Brendan, but it's not really affecting it too much at this time, but we'll wait to see that 663 does not break there on Tesla, so we did not get in. I have to find out the price because we should have got in there. What was I looking for? We'll get back to that, but take it away, Neil.
No, I was just looking at I'm actually looking at Virgin Galactic as it tries to get through what was resistance. I know obviously it was only flush side on the Friday's action, but you're looking at that 48 even area and up to like a cluster here at like 49.60. That would be a target zone for maybe a bit of a reversal here on Virgin Galactic. Doesn't mean it necessarily has to happen. Looks like it was a good decision to take some out of DD. Oops, you don't want the 50-minute chart. It's going to try to bounce here again. Now, if it can hold below VWAP, I think we can start shorting it below that price. Again, I should say, because we had before. This one continues to slide to the downside, down 22%. But shorting the pops, the easier way to get into this stock, because it is short sale restricted, MRIN. This is starting to get a little bit ridiculous at this like cluster area, 24 even to like 23. So if it cannot break out pretty soon, I might just take some out, which would be close to flat my average price, 24, just so I can get a dip buy and give some room for a dip buy if it comes down to that 22.50 to 23 even area. Again, MRIN, it's still holding this price range, but you know, the longer it fails to break out, you do have to wonder if it's running at least a little bit of a little bit of juice. SQBG, which was the halt fest, that's only gone back to the downside here. So look, I said I wouldn't chase it. I didn't chase it. Now all the way down to the first halt at 20 even. That would be a decent area if it can hold this for another move to the upside. But first things first, it has to actually consolidate a little bit longer and hold that 20. Brendo?
Bounce back day for CTXR. If you remember, end of last week, they came out with, I think it was this day, Thursday, slid. It was a big down day. They came out with data for one of their trials that missed and targets. So big move down to 2.5 for CTXR. Back on Thursday, looks like Friday continued, but up today, trying to bounce, guys. 12% for that one.
Yeah, I think we got to do a little bit more work here on Virgin Galactic because we got to find out some resistance levels. Because, I mean, I thought 48. I think Neil just was mentioning 48 there.
48.60 maybe?
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, even, yeah, 48, yeah, 48.60. Yeah, right around here could be a little bit problem. Yeah, well, that's actually 49.50. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll scratch that. I mean, there, you know, 49.50 maybe is the level there for space. So I don't know. We'll see. I want to hold this as much as I possibly can because we know where this thing can go, obviously, and where it can go is a lot higher. So we'll wait to see here as space continues to go up, up and away. We've seen this have monster moves, but again, you know, sometimes it's not wise to hold things forever. So you got to be very, very patient with your trades here, especially on this name, guys. So let's watch out for Virgin Galactic. Now we have that 49.50 level. So that's pretty much one that I'm going to be looking at right now on Virgin Galactic. 49.50. I mean, if it falls back in. We've cashed out a lot on this name already. So let's give it one more shot right now as Randy delivering the Timbit goods over there. That's what Randy does, man. He keeps us fueled with the sugar.
That he does. Lots of sugar there. I see you, Nick W. Nick Dub. I'll call you Nick Dub. Why not? IPDN here. It's like it's a small. It's
yes,
look,
sir.
this is low flow. This is like obviously micro cap type stock here. I'm seeing pretty solid volume and a pretty. This isn't like the most garbage. I shouldn't say garbage. That's not a great word. It's not the worst chart that you're ever going to see, especially breaking through like a 220 into this like cluster area. And there's no obvious bag holding prices till you get to like a 360. But it's like when they're in these like when there's a chop zone on one of these charts and you get into that price range, you sort of wonder, can it really go? And that's why you're seeing choppy trade action. So I don't love it because unless I'm staring at the level 2 and it's like monster amounts of shares you can take and tons of liquidity off of 250, then you can say, okay, I'll make 3 or 4 cents on a trade like that off of a 250 level because it's not going to move a ton. Yeah, well, you don't see that kind of liquidity on the level 2, so I'm going to stay away from it here, IPDN. There's at least some reason to be bullish on the chart there, so it gives you some support levels, but I don't see anything actionable for the day trade that I love because the liquidity not nearly as good as I would have expected. MRIN, this has to be it. It's now trying to break out. If this cannot at least extend to VWAP to get some of this out, color me disappointed with same. I'm sort of already disappointed in MRIN and the price action. After that wipeout bottom on a squeeze name, where you essentially hold a pre-market low on a reversal like that, a lot of times we're screaming at least back up to this level. You can kind of see them bracketing around that 25 level. You think you'd already be here. We're still holding the bottom, so that's okay, but my price isn't at the low of the day. I wish it was, but it's absolutely not. I can tell you that OSAT, which we reversed into, some of those rejections on the longs a couple times there. One that was okay, managed to get out just barely positive, and then we lost on the second one. Now we're retesting that high here. If it can really start to roll over, I think you're taking some out in front of 9 on the back end, looking 8, I tell it like 825 to 850. I said 775 to 8. I don't want to mess with that too much. I probably want to be taking profit out in front of it. Oh my goodness, if you just complain enough, then Marin will make the move. I keep saying Marin, it's Marin. I was corrected on that on Twitter. Thank you guys. I get names wrong all the time with companies because I just look at the ticker. If we can't break through VWAP here, all good. I'll probably still be buying a dip in front of 23, but Marin finally starting to go. We're patient with the dip buy, not patient enough because we did buy this cluster here. On this long, we had the tight stop. On this long, we should have probably had the stop at 24.50. We didn't. We waited for that push to 23. Now let's see if we can retest that high of the day. Marin has at least $4 or $5 till, $3 from here till it tests that 28 top.
What's up, B?
CLSD, guys, Clearside. If you remember I think it was about 2 weeks ago, we had this one, Clearside Biomedical. Popped up on a big move. They had positive data on one of their drug trials. So making that kind of secondary move now, broke that high $6 this morning on heavy volume. Not seeing anything additional on this, but trying to hold 650 here for CLSD.
Okay, yeah, great call on that. Marin just continues to go to the upside as well. Neo does dip down a little bit there. And my next bid was in the 20s because I'm trying to protect this 49. So I can't, I'm not going to average in 50s or 40s or anything. We know how violent this name could be, right? So we are going to wait for Neo to come back in just a little bit here. If that could happen, then fantastic. But here we go back to the upside, turning it into a winner again. So now we're in the money now, another 7-8 cents. I would have normally, again, I hate not having this data, but I would have normally got in here. With the movement that Neo's had lately, I did think that we could possibly retest some of these lows, which we never did there. So that's a little bit of a mistake as Neo now ripping to the high side. We're going to see 50 soon on this name, which we like. So good move here for NIO. Wish still moving, but not enough. We're going to take out another piece right now. We're long at 09 here on Wish. So again, I don't love the company, but I don't mind the action today. So let's take out one more piece here on Wish, and then we'll have 2 more pieces to take out if we do get back to the upside. So I do like this name on Wish, but right now, man, everything's in the money, so everything's really cruising, man. AXLA, that's 20 cents, DD's 20 cents, Neo's 20 cents, Space is 70 cents, and Wish right now is 15 cents. So everything going well, but that Space does get to that 48.50, and now we're going to look for a little bit of drop off in that name. So we don't like that action, but we should get some out of Wish right now as we're just hovering around here. Broke through VWAP, we'll take another piece out.
Thank you for extending that right up until I was able to, I don't know, we might drop this MRI because it finally goes, but finish that Timbit. I don't want to talk while I'm eating, guys. No, this cluster here, we thought maybe we run into resistance in front of it. We mentioned that, so we take a couple legs out of VWAP. This is going to be a dip buy for me, but we're not waiting till, I don't think we can wait until 23 here. There was that flush, and look, if you have a stock that goes 23 to 28, you cannot let 23 even break and just say that's where my stop is going to be. You'll get flushed out every single time. So if you're not willing to give it a little bit more room, at least wait till it holds that level to cut back into the long side. That's the way to be disciplined about it, but you're going to have to let that break before you give up on the trade. We talk about that all the time on the stocks that are more volatile here. Brenda, what you got?
I mentioned CrowdStrike earlier, guys. Here's another one, ZS, Zscaler. 4.5%, just made 52-week highs as well. So another security type name having a pretty good day.
Okay, so we're having a pretty damn good day over here with some of these stocks on these dip buys. So, I mean, again, we switch up some of the strategies. Sometimes we take breakouts. Sometimes we take these dip buys. And look how great this one's been for us here today on NIO. We just talked about buying that at $49.50 that we should have. Instead, though, we waited it for come down here to VWAP. We hit that $49.75. This is not a dip buy. This was just basically that breakout that I'm talking about. We haven't hit many of them today, although Space is also one, I guess. So 2 breakouts there. NEO, nice one. Bang, bang, nice to the upside. Now we're laughing at this. This is 50 cents in the money. And then look at this. Spin it. We won't do the bang. We'll spin it again. I think this is the more liked one here, as we'll just continue to spin this. As Spaceman, we just tweeted that out as well. This was off the sticky notes. So what's up to Sticky Note Society? What's up, Phil? Thanks for keeping that flowing as well. 46.50 upside. What's up, 3M? 47 O's. Now we go to the O to the upside. 48.50. This is what we talked about. This is the sticky note that we're all talking about right here, guys. Space 46.50. You see that? 46.50. Look at the price that we have. 47. We actually took a 47 as well. There's a 46.50. There's a 47. Let's go, man. Space, the final frontier. Not stopping anytime soon as we continue to rip faces off with this name, guys. Another banger over here.
Yeah, and we're continuing to slide. I'm not going to get away too far away from that WB. It is now testing that low at the open that it hit that 58.80. So it is at a fresh low. I know it traded in the pre-market lower than this, but you know, when they had the take private rumor, which obviously ended up not being true, it got as high as $81 pre-market. I got along that it reversed, got out of it and then reversed very, very quickly there. And we're still short this name. The last entry wasn't until like 62.15. I would have taken 63, 64s if it had popped off this, but now I'm looking for that 55 bid. That's where it closed. I can see no reason at this particular point why it can't just slide down for the rest of the session here, looking awfully weak and calming down. So when you're in the money and you've already scalped them out, why not take full advantage of the move? I know, look, guys, we'll do this one, and I will hit the bear for OSAT. You know, like I'd mentioned a couple times I was going to try that 925 break. It was muted. I said buy the dip, 775 to 8 even. That was at the open, right? That was before. Look, it made that pop. It was before it made a couple of failed breaks, one I was involved in. That's why I said reverse into the short side. You're seeing it roll back into VWAP here, so I take some out in front of 9 and then 880. I'll cover more in front of 860, all the way down to that same 775, 8 even area. I want to have most of this trade out if it gets down there. Maybe hang on to like 10% because there was big time support that got a nice 10, more than 10%, like a 15% bump. Might be able to bounce off that level a second time. So OSAT, it was great for a long. Of course, I missed it, but you got to move on to the next trade. It's now looking like it wants to break the trend to the upside. If this can hold a lower high, maybe in like the 35 to 50 range, or even just below VWAP, this thing could really start to flush. 775 to 8 probably remains that first support area, although I wouldn't bet too heavily on it at this point now that it's trying to roll over. So in the money on OSAT, about 75 cents. Got a bid to try and take 80. I'll be likely almost all flat in front of $8.
Okay, Space, yeah, still going. NEO still going. I mean, oh yeah, this is what we just did. Sorry, I was looking to see what we just covered. We just did cover Wish, so we'll do the hot dogs again. A hot dog cannon for Wish, as it's been a big stock for me today. You know, long. These are the ones that we've dipped by. We talked about changing up the strategy a little bit, some of these dip buys, right? So this one was a nice trade. This was a breakout. Dip buy, bang to the upside, so that's good. All the way to the upside on that one. NEO continues to go, man. I have no targets. The high is 50.70 of today. I don't see why we can't take that out as well. So NEO good. DD breaking back again, back down below. So we'll see how far this one can go to the downside right now. But all good. AXLA. Look at this. 25 cents, $1.20, 75 cents. DD 40 cents, 38 cents. AXLA 17 cents. So we're holding on to 5 positions. They're all pretty juicy. And hopefully we can get some more ideas right now with our main man. You're doing AXLA. It's Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Let's jump right into a few things that were moving around this morning. AXLA, definitely one of those. You're going to see a common theme occurring with all of these that we talk about down here. Volume pretty much gone on all of these at this point, so you had to be quick with AXLA. It came right back down after the initial move very early this morning and was holding 520 to 540. So anytime it popped up here to 520, 540, got slammed right back down. As I mentioned, just a bit of a grind back down to, what are we at now? 440. For AXLA, so a nice opportunity, but volume has disappeared. ODT, another one, same story. Volume down here, pretty much gone at this point, so you had to be involved in this initial move, I think. We stood up here just before the open, talked about 4. It did, in fact, flush through 4. We are consolidating here, so we might get another secondary push to the downside, but volume has dried up on this one. OSAT, I really couldn't find much to do with this today. There was that, I tried it long initially, but the initial high in the pre-market here ends up being a bit of a pivot overall throughout the morning. So 980 at the top now, $8 at the bottom. It's kind of in the middle once again for OSAT. Guys, back over to you.
Yay, 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 yay. I'm telling you, man, you're good luck. You said like couldn't find much to do with OSAT, but then it makes, look, I'm in the short, we mentioned now, it makes another leg down. It actually just hit, like I have a bid sitting here at 68. It just hit 868, bouncing above, consolidating below VWAP, which is what we were looking for. So that stands like pretty well right now. We talked about DD a couple of times here. And look, under normal circumstances, a lot of this would have lined up for like, yeah, it's a buying opportunity when there's blood in the water, but for now it's holding 12 even for anyone that's bullish. Like we said earlier, I would anticipate there are a lot of angry shareholders that might be suing some people around here. But at the end of the day, we're playing the price action. There was just the opening flush to 1160, right? So, I took the 12 break in addition to the consolidation short, and I took the consolidation short a couple of times here. I'm going to try and rinse and repeat it, but there's a couple of times it's now held 1195. It bounces back to the upside. I'm not taking anything till it gets to 1220 to 1225 on the south side of the trade. MRIN, this still looks pretty good. But we've just held that, like you look at the open, you just held this 25.75. So the top end of this cluster has been held. If the bottom doesn't, then you're still in that downward trend, obviously. Now, I'm still going to buy down in front of that 23, not giving it to the low, not going to wait to the low of the day. Oh my goodness, there's a push right there. Get some rubber band action on MRIN. You just saw it oh my goodness, not fast enough. So you just saw it flush right into 22.75 when I said, if it dips down to that bottom, I'll try and catch it. The bid literally evaporated, and I'm still on this one, still on Virgin Galactic there, but the bid literally evaporated on MRIN, recovers to 23.90. We got the 23 long in there. I tried to buy. I saw literally a 22.80 bid when I was trying to cross up to 23.25 there. You see it already snap back a little bit, but that's what I was sort of getting at. You can't get past this 25.75 mark. MRIN is not going to move pennies. It's going to move dollars. That's just how it is going to be here. Forget about the fact it's a $23 or $24 stock. It's all over the place. So play these cluster areas and don't get caught chopped up in the middle. That was the only mistake that we made here. I think waiting for that buy and then waiting to the top end of this range is the way to go. So I'll wait till the low end before I add any more shares. MRIN just moving around like gangbusters, guys.
Yeah, I actually tried to short 25.50 and realized I didn't even have any shortable shares. So on that one. Let's go, guys. Okay, here we go. Let's go. 24.25 upside there. Just looking at AXLA not doing anything. DD still trying to break lower. We've still got that name, and we're not going to get out of that. We've already talked about that and why. Okay, so that's that call. We'll look to get more short on DD and AXLA. This is why we covered. It's still not really doing anything. And then, look at NEO, guys. I got to just say what's up to everybody on that one. A little bit of a roller coaster there. But again, like we called this NEO long, and that's why we're still holding it, man. A nice little dollar. Like we got multiple dollars on here. Dollar on NEO, dollar on Virgin. Virgin Galactic goes as high as that 48.60 level that Neil was talking about before. So that's a stop and go spot there. We probably shoulda, coulda, woulda got out of that, but we're not going to. We're going to hold this and see if it wants to fly through a little bit here. Space going to the upside. And then other than that, we looked at MRIN, but I want to talk about AMC a little bit. Look, still, like not doing anything. So I don't know what to think about this. We're just hovering around here on AMC. I don't really want this break to the downside because I don't know. We could. The volume is not really there today for AMC. We're only doing 19 million shares, which is decent. This is just turning out, and this might be a good sign. Like this is just turning out to be more of a stock right now, and less of one of these pump and dump stocks, like these meme stocks. So AMC starting to get going. There's good rhetoric behind it, obviously, with the reopen trade and things like that. So very, very hard to hate on the AMC chart right now because it's bouncing around and it's sticking up to that 1.1%. So AMC holding out highs. I like it. So we'll see where it goes from here. But AMC, I want to go short. I can't pull the trigger People saying I miss Palantir, and obviously I miss Palantir. We were waiting for it to dip down. I mean, I'm still a huge Palantir fanboy, to say the least, as you guys know, but it is making that move to the upside. I did think it would fade out today, so that's a mistake on me. There's nothing I can do about that. Now I'm going to wait for it. I don't like these levels, not with the NASDAQ where it is right now. And then AMD today was another name we were trying to get into, but you know, again, it's just, this is ugly. No directional movement on that one, so I'd much rather keep my money where we have it with Neo and Space and Wish. Oh, there goes Wish now. Wish now did days high. So that's a good little move upside for Wish. Not days high, close enough to at 50s. We'll wait to see where we go on this one, but so far so good. Wish.
And Virgin Galactic goes to 48.58, so it's not technically 48.60. It's pretty close though. Double top there. Now you're at the top end of that range at 48 to 48.60. Ideally, I'd like to see a cluster up there. It wasn't necessarily a huge parabolic move into that top to get that ridiculous reversal, but it was just as simple as looking into last week and sort of saying, okay, there's your 48 level, and then there's your 48.60 popping up a couple of times in action in terms of being resistant. So you get a turnaround at that same price because everyone's looking at pretty much the exact same charts. I'd like to be shorting in front of that 48.60. If I get another crack at it, we'll go ahead and do that. OSAT continues to, I keep thinking of OSAT. It's kind of crazy. OSAT stands for something here in Canada it's messing with my mind every single time. OSAT continues to the downside. So what are we going to do here? We'll do the falling money because I'm on this page. I still want to get more shares out in front of 8 even. I'm not saying it absolutely will bounce off 8 again, but it was such a big turnaround off that price before that we missed along, obviously. We've said a couple of times here. I'm not happy with myself for missing it, but I want to make sure I'm taking profit. If I anticipate their support, you want to make sure you're taking profit in front of it. So I'll probably put some board, I got to change my stop order, of course, and then get some bids down into the 30s and maybe even the low teens there in case we continue to the downside here on OSAT. I don't know that I like giving it to the high, to $10 anymore. I think you got to give it to the high of the day at absolute worst. Not crazy here if you move your stop to a 9.55, but I'll keep it at the high of the day on OSAT. A good short for now. Everything working in the money. But remember, I lost on Tesla and then B squared, but everything we're holding looking pretty good. Just watch out for MRIN. When it goes down, it doesn't fall by pennies, man. Like that bid can evaporate quickly. Even though it's in the money, I am watching it cautiously. Brendan?
All right, just about 10:30, guys. That means coming up in 15 minutes. Great guest coming your way, Tempest Resources, a exploration mining company coming through in 15 minutes to talk about their activity both in here in Canada and also in Australia as well. They're doing some work in South America. So we'll talk to Tempest Resources coming up here in about 15 minutes. In the meantime, let's get a quick check on what's happening over in Europe. Miss V is watching what's going on over in Europe. Miss V.
Hey, Brandon, European markets are flat, mostly negative. All the attention to the oil prices. French train maker Alstom is down more than 7% after it forecast negative cash flow for its fiscal year. Back to you.
Yeah, there was a report of a spike because of a fire in an oil field over in Iran as well. So if you saw that kind of movement in crude futures, that was quickly faded back down though, guys.
Speaking of fading back down, it's like this wasn't doing a heck of a lot, DD, but it just rolled back below that 12 level, down to around that like 88 to 90, where it actually made a move to the upside. We actually were able to get close to the top here at 1220, but I'll take some more shares out if we can catch it here on DD. I know it seemed like it's a little bit of a sleepy stock, but it's down 23%. This is still a significant range that it's put in since the open. It's just nothing compared to the obvious gap down that you've seen on DD shares, guys. So there were a couple of other names to look at. One of them was that WB. It is also barcoding, but in the money. I have no reason to get out of it, so I'm just hanging on to this. The last of these shares. If it rolls over, I think it's going to Friday's close price. I'm still going to give it towards that 63 to 65 area to the top. Brendo?
Quietly, everyone's favorite EV maker, Candy, just popping up here. KNDI popping up. They just announced retail financing options for the American market. So you can now get your KNDI car on financing, guys, up 5%. Volume coming into this one.
Yeah, hard pass on Candy, but I really do like, good name. just that stock, and I'm talking about the way the car looks.
I like candy.
Not about
Not
the
the car.
stock there, but okay. Yeah, okay. So I like NEO if we're going to talk about anything EV. That's the name that we've been hammering right now, and a good one so far. We'll see where it goes from here. But NEO now up to day's high. Another winner, man. $1.20 now in our pocket on NIO. So really happy with the way this one's turning out for us here. NIO to nothing but upside ever since it turned around off this consolidation. Just banged VWAP and then just went nuts off of it. So that was a good one there. And then, yeah, we're still going to spin it for DD because this is what we're doing on this name, guys. All the way back down to 85. We talked about only averaging in, man, when the pops happened. Bang, bang, bang. Now we'll wait to see how low can you go, DD. I think lower than this. So we'll wait on that one. Other than that, I mean, I'm kind of just chilling out. I did want to look at Microsoft today a little bit. Again, we're not into any of these names. Wow, Microsoft. I didn't know a level to look at. So, maybe back, I got to take this in consideration. Like, anytime we come back to the close of the day before on this name, like, how many days in a row has Microsoft just been going up, up, and away? Like, look at this. Like, it's just like, bang. Even the days that are red, like, we're just barely red. Like, this day is what, red by like 10 cents? I'm not even sure how red that day is right there either. So yeah, so big moves. I mean, this day is, I guess, down to the downside there. But yeah, so we'll wait to see here. But Microsoft, any dip seems to be a buying opportunity for Softy. And today you had one again, right back to the close, man, 277.75. So we're going to remember that for tomorrow on Microsoft. And right now it's just too far up, but we still do like it as my eyes going everywhere, trying to find you guys some opportunity. We should have taken out, obviously, that space at that high, but we're still going to hold it. Space is one of my number one stocks today, to be honest with you. Well, DD, I haven't realized it yet, but that's a good one. Space, I think, is my number one realized stock today. So a good move. Bang, bang, bang. We didn't take out the high. Let's see if we can retest it and get our money back into this name.
Yeah, I can't believe I missed that opportunity to the south side on that Virgin Galactic at 48.60. It's going to happen, and we're trading in multiple symbols at the same time, which takes a little time and effort to get good at, obviously. The SQBG, I wanted to come back to this, the Halt Fest. It slowed down a little bit, but it did bounce off. It held that $20 range, so that was pretty good. If you caught that to the long side, off that support. If it breaks 20 here, like try to get through 25, try to break this halt price there. If it gets through 20 even, you might actually see a sharp sell-off in the afternoon. And we always talk about not just the morning trades, because we're going to be back. And where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it on my board? There we go. We're back at 315. I always like to have a few things that are going to be close to the vest that I'm going to be watching here. Of course, everything I'm trading that I'm in right now I'm going to be looking at. But SQBG, that was the one that got away in the rollover short. And sometimes that, these gappers and runners, just because they might have made a high and flushed, or even sometimes they're all the way back to previous prices, doesn't mean there's not an afternoon breakout. So if we can hold 20 even, fair enough, I'll look for an afternoon break. I still like the 20 breakdown for a trade. I'm sure we'll still be in DD to the short side by the time, well, I shouldn't say that because I probably jinxed it myself there. Could be in this MRIN if it fails to go. You're once again holding this cluster. But if the next leg is down, this is starting to turn into a bit of a downward trend. You get a failed breakthrough VWAP there, multi-day runner to the upside. That looks a heck of a lot like an interesting top. And then you're going to get this 25.50 where I was taking some shares out. Is that other spike top at 25.60 there? So an inability to break back through and test the high. You're probably taking out that low, and then you're talking about $19. $19 becomes your next floor. So I would trade at least a little bit lightly there. There's a reason why I showed you guys on the 15-minute chart there. That's why you had to get out in this cluster. It is confirmed by these prices here, double top on the way down, a breakout through that price on the open, or in the pre-market at 8 o'clock. You got to have some areas to take profit, and everyone's looking at the same price action and the same charts. Try to take advantage of it. If you're an active trader, if you're one and done, that's always going to be a bit of a different style. You could still be hanging on to this as long as we're holding these lows that we put in on MRIN. But you know what, or get off the pot, Marin. That's why I'm going to take profit. Probably, I'm going to actually go ahead and cancel that 26 because I kind of feel like I'm taking profit around 25 and then holding through 26 if you can get there.
Yeah, thank you, Steve G. Yeah, Marin, a good name there today. Thank you, Steve G, for pointing this out. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this, but NASDAQ, it's all the way down here. NASDAQ day low right now. So that's made me nervous about one position and one position only. I'm not worried about space. I think that's going to be its own beast for a while. But NEO is the one that I'm looking at here. We break through 50-50. We're going to be gone. Just because NEO, we've looked at this long enough to know that it's a NASDAQ name and it will just follow the tech side of things here. So if the NASDAQ continues to fall down, we got that little bump up, so that was good. We could go over to Palantir on any NASDAQ drop, so we'll look at that in a minute. But NEO right there, we are just getting ready to get out of that, guys, if it does break back down below. So watch out for that 50-50 print. It's right there. It's pretty clear. So if that breaks, then we will get out of Marin, out of NEO on the downside. But hey, look, if the NASDAQ can start to bounce, then I think this one easily takes out the high there. So no averaging in. We've already got a banger on this one. And that's what I'm talking about when we look at space ripping right back to the upside right now. So this is what I mean, man. I'm not worried about this name at all. We'll see where it goes from here. But space right now, nothing but love to the upside as we take out that past high as space ripping. Let's go.
I'm staring at it because every time I see a level like that, I'm going to look for like that failed breakout trade. For now, it looks like it's trying to put in the failed break, but that first move back in when it broke that 60 level, goes to 65, actually held up at 50 pretty good, and it's still holding up at 48.50. So that's actually a pretty strong sign. A lot of times I would have jammed into a short, but the first time that was a pullback. You had to have 48.60 the first time through. There's no obvious levels after that, guys. So Virgin Galactic, well, there is $50. $50 is the obvious level after that 48.60 on the chart. So that's all you're going to be looking for is probably a 50 level.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is the bang, bang, bang city right now. So we'll go bang for this one as space, man. Wow, like we could have easily dumped that here, man, but we didn't. Like, this is what happens when you believe in something and you believe in your names that you're holding, guys. Wow, right, big move to the upside. Goes Virgin Galactic, now $2, $2 now in the money as we continue to go. 49 we just touched there. And this is the best one off this list today, guys, by far. Well, NEO is great. AXLA is great. Microsoft, forget it, my bad. There's a lot of great names on here, including DD, including NEO, including Space, including Microsoft. But look at this one, just go to the upside. Really happy with the way this is pairing off here for us. This is Space, up to 49 and change. We talked about some of those levels and where we were looking at. We were looking at this, it was right here. 51, that's not even a thing right there. I mean, I don't know where we're going to go from here, but let's just keep on holding this as we called this all day today, guys.
Gonna have a quick look at this. We should have mentioned Ocugen. Their partner in India had positive data when it came through their vaccine trial. It was like overall efficacy was like 78%, and then serious cases was like 93. But it is, as Ocugen tends to do, pulling all the way back in. I'm watching like this double bottom is trying to put in at 780, and then from there, this can actually get down to like 730. Where on Friday you did have that post-market action. I think there's going to be a chance to buy a dip here on Ocugen. This should have been an easy rollover trade. I didn't notice we're also failing off of the 50 period here, so that should have been one of those rollovers. It wasn't quite there to be able to make our watch list, but Ocugen is doing pretty solid volume and should be watched going into the afternoon. And it gets to 730. I think you got a chance at that little bit of a dip buy. MRIN, I know it's going to sit there and say like it's in the money over $1, but try to remember that this stock, like a lot of times we'll show you these charts and you'll be like, oh yeah, that was just one of these dark pool prints that went down to 2270. That's not a fake print. You know, Martin was holding nice. He had spiked up. We're getting into this cluster here at 25, taking some profit out, and then it legitimately fell like $2.50 in the matter of a minute or two. So it's still trying to recover from that. At any moment, the same thing could happen here again. I was trying to get some out at VWAP, but if it's not going to make that move, what I should be doing is trying to get some out here, right here in this cluster. If this is what it wants to hold here, guys, I can't fight this forever. At the end of the day, Marin's not nearly as strong as I thought it was going to be after it made that breakout. So I will trim some more shares off so that I don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Or it doesn't. I don't want a $2 flush to come in and then I'm sitting there regretting the fact that I didn't take anything off. We got the bottom on that move. You got to reward yourself when you make a good decision there. And the bid not as sturdy as I would like. Time for Brennan in Sector Watch. That board turned to one color pretty quickly.
Yeah, overall maybe a little bit worse than it actually looks, but yeah, pretty red right across the entire board. Overall about 0.5% right now for the S&P, 0.47 to the downside. Want to talk about oil stocks because we talked about the energy markets overall right out of the gate this morning. Some of the oil stocks very, very strong. 6-year highs for crude in the pre-market. It's done nothing but just sell off ever since. So down significantly. These going along with it. So FANG, NOV, Halliburton, Oxy 4.5%, COG 3.5%, all the way up to about 6% to the downside for some of the oil plays. But you can see some of the bigger ones over here. XOM 2.2%, COP 1.8%, so not as bad. But energy stocks among the leaders to the downside. Communication stocks here. Some of those media names leading to the downside as well. Fox A and Fox 3.5%, 3.8%. Via C is here. Dish as well, all down about 2.5% to 3.5% on the day. Material stocks, far corner over here, also among the leaders in negative territory. It's the banks, though, that are actually leading to the downside today. Individual banks, the lead group individually as far as groups go to the downside. So 2.3% up to about 3.6% for some of the individual names. Insurance companies, diversified financials, all in the red. Transportation stocks, the commercial and professional names, and also capital goods, the entire industrial sector in negative territory as well. Look at Amazon standing out here, 3.05%. All-time highs this morning. First day for the new CEO for Amazon, we mentioned, but the rest of the retailers, all negative. Gap, 3.6%. BBY, there's LKQ, L-Brands as well, 1.8%. So, yeah, a bit of a mixed board overall. It does look very red, but not as bad, maybe, as it seems. 0.45 for the overall S&P, guys. Back over to you.
Thank you, Brendo. And we'll spin this not just for ourselves, because as you see, Virgin Galactic now up $2 and $2.20 now as space. This is Neo, first of all, that just keeps, I guess, okay. You know, we have $1.70 now on Neo, guys. $1.70 in the money on Neo. $2.40. We're actually $3 in the money from this call now to the upside. But this is, to me, what it's all about. And I don't know if you're watching this, Herman. I mean, you tweeted at me, so I guess it's public. But, like, you know, taking some of these trades with us is what we're talking about. So this is Space. I thought I read it somewhere where you took Space. Maybe it was another one. But there it is, 48.89 on Space. So I don't know where you went long, but I guess that was the current price at that time. Now you're at 49.08. So thank you so much there for Space and for the love on Twitter from you, Herman. And I mean, that's what it's all about. Forget about how much money I make or anything. It doesn't matter. I want you guys. Well, it matters. I mean, I'm trying to make money, but really, it's just the fact that you guys can take these exact same trades and that you're looking at the watch list and you're doing everything with us here. So that does mean a lot to us, as everything that I have right now is just Rip City. So I can't be happier with the day today. All love, and thank you guys again. We just got to eventually get out of DD as AXA now at its day's low here, AXLA. So good hold on that one. Today we've got it, man, and so today we're spinning it. We have one loser. Well, we have two, MRIN and AMC, but everything else is pretty cash money. Thank you to Randy again for showing up and giving us those sweet, sweet Timbits from QSR. Let's go.
If you don't know, okay, QSR. Tim Hortons, of course, QSR are going to be publicly traded. That's what it's all about, guys. SQBG testing back down to that 20 level. We're not there yet, but it could be a bit of a breakdown trade. It's a good thing that we took some of that MRIN out. This is a good point because a couple of you guys said there, MRIN, dangerous stock. Someone said none of us should be trading it. I tend to agree. The way it is moving, for a lot of people, it's going to be pretty dangerous. And we sort of said that a couple of times, so watch out. It just tried to break up again, made a move into that 24.50 area, and then I once again saw the bid just sort of like wipe out, and then it flushed back down. So yeah, we took some out. Could I got an extra 40 or 50 cents out of it? Sure, but it continues to look a little bit, I suppose, weak. Despite the fact that it is creeping to the upside. So as much as it's a winning trade, we're happy with it. Same thing with DD. There's a very, very big difference between DD, which has all kinds of course, that's SQBG. Why does it not change? There's a lot of liquidity in something like a DD. As dangerous as that looked, down 20%, MRIN trading to the upside, way more bid. For a weak stock, DD's got a lot of bid in front of it. It's not going to flush $1 in a couple of seconds, or even like 50, 60 cents in 1 minute or so. Like, it's going to be pretty steady. That's why we're hanging out in here in Marin. I'm having to stare at and make sure we got stop orders and make sure that we're going to get executed, guys. So you have to be a little more careful there. OSAT is the other one that we got to that south side. We talked about the long dip by the target area that I liked. It was a good one. We did reverse into the short. Our last out is basically as good as we could have got, 865. It is still holding VWAP. The trend is still very clearly to the upside, but it has yet to retake that top or even test it a second time. If we break 850, I think we're headed right down to that 775, 8 area that we liked before. I'm getting flat in front of that price area. If I think it's a good dip buy down there, probably not holding a short through it.
I love all the love for Palantir. I'm not in it, guys, but we'll talk about it a little bit here. Lots of love for Palantir as that just continues to go, wow, up another 3%, man. I mean, this is the retirement fund, man. I mean, we're long Palantir. We're long in all kinds of accounts for this name. We love it, and I'm not long in it today, which is a shame because I'm always playing dip buys, and we should have done it here at 24.50. Unfortunately, we talked about this bottom too much. I should have just took it, and then we'd be laughing right now. But whatever. We have monster wins everywhere else. AXLA days low, DD as well. Things are moving around, but right now we have a mover and shaker with Brendan, and today's interview, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks so much. Tempest Resources, an exploration gold mining company, joining us today to talk a little bit about not only the company itself, but the overall state of the gold market, because we have seen a little bit of stability come back into the market over the past couple of days. Jason Bonnison is president of Tempest Resources and joins us on the show for the first time. It's great to talk to you, Jason. Thanks for doing this today. Let's talk a little bit first off, as we mentioned, about the overall state of things here as far as gold is concerned. We saw this time last year, in fact, that really nice move up into all-time high territory. Yes, that was based off of obviously the pandemic. That was a bit of an unknown still at that point. But give us your take on where we are at this point as far as gold is concerned.
Sure, Brendan. Great to be with you this morning. I mean, we've seen gold break through 1,800. It's back up. We believe the gold market will remain strong. We see we're in a continued period of sort of high risk, continued economic stimulus, no change in U.S. interest rates for at least a year, and weak U.S. dollar. So, we believe these are all factors that are going to continue to drive the gold market and demand.
So Tempest operates primarily in British Columbia here in Canada, as we mentioned off the top. I want to note, though, the company listed both here in Toronto on the Venture Exchange and as well on the ASX over in Australia. So we will discuss both listings, but we'll throw the chart up here in a couple of minutes, guys, and see primarily the ASX listing, which is, as I said, over in Australia. But give us an introduction to Tempest.
Sure.
and the principles.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Brendan, Tempest is originally an Australian company. It was formed in 2018, listed on the ASX under the ticker TMR. In December, we listed on the Venture, the TSX Venture, and the ticker for that is TMRR. The company currently has a market cap of approximately 17 million. And, as you say, we're focused predominantly on our BC projects, but we also have very exciting projects in Ecuador. But, the key focus for both the exploration and the spending is weighted towards British Columbia gold assets. All our projects are in gold. We're a gold exploration company.
It's an interesting time to be an exploration company because of a number of those notes that you just mentioned. I want to take a second to make sure everybody understands the difference here from an actual mining company and an exploration company. Talk us through some of the keys that differentiate between those two different aspects to this business.
Sure. Well, developing a mine from initial exploration to production on average takes typically about sort of 10 years to get to that point. And typically the investors, the best time, the sweet spot for getting involved in exploration play is right now, from the initial discovery through to resource definition and completion of feasibility work. This is really the period of the greatest value creation for investors. So, and this is the position that Tempest is in on all its projects. We're in a phase of exploration drilling, where we're using diamond drilling to take out core samples from our deposits to define the mineral content and structure of the deposit beneath the ground. And then we'll take that once we have sufficient core samples and we have the detailed geological information, rock type, mineral content, grade. We'll use this to model the deposit using GIS, computer graphics, and to calculate the tonnage and the number of sort of ounces in the ground. And this really becomes the key basis for the detailed engineering work and economic feasibility work that'll lead to the decision to build and mine the mine. So, Tempest is quite unique in that regard because our projects in BC, while they are an exploration play, we are drilling and firming up our resource right now. They also come with fully permitted infrastructure, which is key. So we have a fully permitted mill, 300 ton a day on our flagship BC project, and tailings facilities. So it's really an opportunity. Once we have that resource, we can really fast track it into production in a much shorter time frame than the typical sort of 10-year sort of window that I mentioned. So somewhat unique in that regard, and enables us to talk about a fast track into production for our operations.
Jason Boston, president of Tempest Resources, joining us. Let's get into maybe some of the fine details here. I want to get to the South American property, as you mentioned, but tell us a little bit about maybe the lifespan when it comes to the properties in BC, what the company expects to come out of these projects, and then let's discuss how things are proceeding in Ecuador.
Sure. Well, Elizabeth Black Dome, our project in British Columbia, is our flagship project. It's located in a very, very active region. Everybody talks about the Golden Triangle, which is a long way up north in BC. This is in the Braylorn gold camp, and Braylorn was a mine that produced over 4 million ounces of gold over a 75-year period. Now, there's a lot of active companies. They're all exploring, they're all drilling. It's mostly focused on gold, although there are some people exploring for copper and copper porphyries, which is also prevalent in the region. Now, our projects, as you can see on the map here, Brendan, it's really two projects in one. We have the Black Dome gold mine. And that was a previously producing, fully permitted operation. It operated from 1986 to 1991, produced about 230 ounces of gold. So, and we're drilling at Elizabeth right now, which is connected to sort of Black Dome. So it's really, in the historic production of Black Dome was over 22 grams per ton. That's 3/4 of an ounce per ton. This is very high grade gold operations. So it's really an opportunity that we can develop this quite quickly once we firm up the resource. Where we're, I don't know if you have another graphics there, Brendan, but we have the map of Elizabeth, where we're drilling four the distinct sort of gold veins that were previously identified. These veins are, there we go, the veins are sort of high grade. We're focused on the southwest vein, which is highlighted with the annotation there. And we began drilling this last year, late in the year, and we released the results of the initial holes in February that had some spectacular gold intersections, including 5 meters at 66 grams per ton, which within that included 1.5 at 186 grams per ton. So we're really focused on extending those veins both along strike and at depth. We've completed 8 holes so far this year. Assays are pending, where we got a drill rig going 24 hours a day there. And we've intersected, most importantly, we're intersecting that southwest vein on each and every one of those holes that we've drilled so far this year. And we expect to have assays coming out in the next week or two. We have a great confirmed turnaround time with our assay lab. So we're anticipating some exciting results similar to the high-grade results we announced in sort of February. And we're just going to continue to drill this Elizabeth all year, leading up to ideally a maiden resource for the project at the end of the year.
I want to make sure we get some details on the Ecuador project as well. Tell everyone about what attracted, first off, the company to Ecuador for this project, and how it's a bit of a unique situation in that country.
Yes, I mean Ecuador. It's very exciting. We own 2 projects there, 100% owned, and it's really an elephant country. We're in southeastern Ecuador, along a cordillera of prolific sort of both copper porphyry mineralization and gold mineralization. Our one project, Rio Zarza, is adjacent to Lundin 10 million ounce Fruta del Norte gold deposit. We believe it's the extension of that. And then on our Valle de Tigre project, where it's actually the following. Well, we don't have the graphic of this. This is back to that's BC. But just on Ecuador, we are currently preparing to do a large soil sampling program at Valle de Tigre, which is a precursor for identifying drill targets. So we're active in Ecuador. We've had an election in Ecuador in April. Guillermo Lasso has come into power, very pro foreign investment, pro mining. So we think it's very positive for the country. And we're very excited to be where we are in Ecuador, and we think there's good things to come. Both drilling targeting next year. We're working on the permits. Just kicked off the permits to begin the drilling permitting process in Ecuador.
As we said, listed on the Venture Exchange here in Toronto, TMRR, and you can also check them out as TMR over in Australia if you have access to the Australian market. Jason Bonnison, president of Tempest Resources. A pleasure, sir. We look forward to an update in the future.
Thank you, Brendan. It's great to be here. Thank you.
There we go, guys. A look at Tempest Resources, another exploration company, guys.
Thanks again, as always, for a fantastic interview there. Just a couple of minutes until we get you guys out of here. I'm just going to quickly, there's a couple of things moving, obviously, and we're going to get to that OSAT in a second. But MRIN, and I said this has been a bit of not a dangerous trade, but once again fails at VWAP. So, I mean, I took some out on the cluster 2420. I almost don't want to be. I don't want to be adding to this position anymore. If it goes down to 22 even, or 2250 or 23, we're dipped before. I think we'll just let it break the low of the day, and I'll just hang on to the last of the shares that we have. I mean, Wish is still holding at that $12 level. So as much as all the positions are still in the money for me right now, they're basically holding out at cluster levels where, I'm not going to move my stops. I'm not going to change just too much of anything, with the exception of no longer adding to Marin there, guys. So it's been a fun trade, certainly this morning. Sean, any updates on the positions you got?
Yeah, so we just got out, and it was probably a mistake, obviously, looking at it now, but Space does fall down a little bit. It takes out that cluster, so we'll take the $2.20 there for the big win on Space, although I can't believe we're up to that 50 level. I mean, I can believe it, but good move there on Space. And then I'm still holding out on Neo. I mean, I was debating making the same play there, but we'll see what happens when we get back into that spot, and then still trying to hold true and watch to see what DD's going to do. But again, the action was sort of early and often there, down to 1160, so we'll wait on DD right now. But yeah, I mean, Banger City today has AXLA also down near the day low. So one in on this trade. That's a nice that's 10% move, right? We got 40 cents on a $4 name, so 10% in the money there. We actually had a video out there about making 10% a day. There it is right there. We also made that much on, no, we didn't make that much on Neo, no, because that's a $30 stock, but almost that much on Space. What's up, Miss V yet? With what day it is? No?
Yes.
Sure, what's up?
Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day so far. Please don't forget that we are back at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time to trade the close together and summarize this trading day. Guys, please make sure you like this video. We're really at the bottom in regards of likes, so we really need your help. Smash the like button, and happy National Fried Chicken Day, everyone.
Oh, hell yes. Oh, hell yeah. We actually bought lunch here on Canada Day. We all got fried chicken sandwiches, of course, and that was really good. So we did like that.
Not
but
everybody,
too spicy for Valeria, apparently.
Not everybody got that delicious chicken sandwich that we got. I mean, somebody decided to have ribs, and a lot of them for lunch there. Robbie, good look. Look, man, I'll dig it. I'll dig it. Of course, in moderation, you're supposed to, but I try not to because I absolutely love fried chicken. It is what it is. Gotta have a good hot sauce, though. I'm all about the super hot sauce. As always, it's been an absolute blast with you guys. Thank you for all the support. 1500. Don't forget, come right back at 3:15. We're here for the close. It's going to be a wild one. You have a holiday shortened week, so a lot of trading action to pack into one day. You know, DD's on the move, the Chinese names on the move. Anything with a high valuation with yields where they are has been making runs today. So you guys talking about pins, everything that is sort of technically pricey has been running to the upside today. That's going to be true. You see some stable names like GM getting hit today, down 3%. I just noticed that one. That kind of sucks. But for the entire team and down the line, Miss V is in the green, and we might need it today. For Brennan, fantastic interview as always. Myself, Neil Roberts, and Sean Katina. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we'll see you at the close.
Ciao.